assuming I haven't been banned on Twitter because I posted the stuff about the the new Nikkei that is not gonna get me in trouble. Why are people looking at? Okay, let's post the tweet to see. The legend begins. Cowboy. Heathcliff. Twitch.tv/Singe. I think. There we go. Post. Well, let me see. Is the stream going? Yes. Well, howdy, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. I'm always terrible at that. Welcome to a very special Singe Roaster stream, where today we will be beginning once and for all Heathcliff's Canto, which once again I will be doing every single character and all the narration in a southern accent. So, are you ready, non-existent viewers, for the legend of Cowboy Heathcliff? Allow me to just open the app so I can monitor this shit somewhere else. Please ignore my recent tweets about a certain Nikkei again. Apologies. Alright. Yeah. What's that? What the? Apologies. I was distracted by a setting in the VTubing software. Is there a way to adjust this? Sorry, I'm not, what? It makes me the cowboy hat makes me look more mysterious when it's blocking my eyes. Yes, everything is fine. Okay. Alright. Let us begin. Finally, once and for all, the legend of Cowboy Heathcliff begins now. Now. I am.
돌아와, 히스.
Come back, Heath.
보랏빛 꽃만이 유일한 아름다움으로 남아있는 그 저택으로.
To the manor where the last vestiges of its beauty remain in its violet flowers.
폭풍으로 뚫린 균열 사이로 모든 온기가 빠져나갔던 그 저택으로.
To the manor where its storm-broken breach has siphoned all that was once warm.
너에게 삶을 내어준 대신 모멸감과 무너짐을 안겨주었던 그 저택으로.
To the manor that gave you not only life, but also scorn and desolation. 이황.
난로불 가운데가 아닌 차가운 모퉁이 어기만이 네 자리였던 그 저택으로.
To the manor where your place was the frozen corner that couldn't be further from the hearth.
황야에서 돌아와.
Return from the moors, not the moops.
이제 집으로 올 시간이야.
It's time for you to come home. So this is what T-Corp's nest looks like. Well, boy, how. We had surprisingly little trouble making it past the nest's borders. I guess my concerns were unfounded.
뭐, 다행히도 이번 둥지 입국 심사는 별일 없이 넘어왔네요.
Well, somehow we made it through this nest checkpoint without any trouble.
아이, 이 정도야 뭐. 아이, 에이, 칭찬은 굳이 안 해도 괜찮다고 하지 않았어.
Don Quixote, for the duration of these streams, your name is now Dan. No, just say Don Quixote. No, I'm not doing this. Ahem. 'Tis nothing, forsooth. Such wild compliments are unnecessary, says I.
아무도 하진 않았는데.
What? We didn't say anything?
다 컸어, 이제.
He's grown so much. Indeed, she has, Radia. Radia, its name sounds like rodeo, which is appropriate because I would ride. Wait, well, you know, F it, I would ride. Ride her harder than the wildest bull at the rodeo. Or, what was that? No. Wait. I do not think cows are attractive. Oh god. Everyone seems awfully relaxed for having just entered a different nest. Sometimes a baby bird's gotta leave home. I guess everyone's gotten used to this by now. Humdrum routine. I guess there'd be the words to describe the general sentiment among the sinners. Except for one, that is. Our legend himself, Heathcliff. Oh god. My throat is gonna kill me by the end of this. We're heading to this place called Wuthering Heights next, right? I could tell from Heathcliff's glum expression that his mind was weighed down by all kinds of complicated concerns. Like how to wrangle his cows.
그렇지.
Yeah. Though his eyes were staring at the moving scenery past the windows, his mind was fixed on something that his eyes couldn't see, something that lay beyond the building walls.
워더링 하이츠라.
Wuthering Heights.
무지하게 강한 바람이 불었던 집이었나 보죠.
That manor must have been built on one windy hill, huh?
그 저택은 바람이 지랄맞게 불었어.
Yeah, bloody Wuthering Heights, just like its namesake.
아늑한 구석은 하나도 찾을 수 없는 곳이었지.
Not a single corner of that place gave any comfort. Heathcliff's voice carried an unusually dark tone. The other sinners on the bus noticed this and began chatting him up.
고향에 당도한다니 마음이 참 복잡하겠소.
Once returned to one's homeland must bring forth quite the tangled mess of emotion.
고향이라
Homeland? Well,
태어난 곳이 아니라 자라온 곳이긴 한데. 하긴 그것도 고향이라면 고향이겠지.
I wasn't born here. I was raised here. I suppose that could still count as a homeland in a way.
근데 보통 고향하면 떠올리는 감정은 아니야.
But it doesn't conjure in me the same feeling that a homeland is supposed to. It's the ranch.
허면
That is to say,
머릿속에선 수천 번도 넘게 상상했어. 내가 그 빌어먹을 집안에 돌아가서 모든 걸 남김없이 부수고.
you have no idea how many times I've imagined, played it out in my head, returning to that bloody manor, smashing every little thing in that place to bits until there's nothing left.
모든 걸 부숴서 그 다음엔 뭘 하려고 했는데요?
Okay, so you'll smash everything to bits. Then what?
저를 보고도 깨달은 게 없는 거예요?
Did you really learn nothing from watching what I went through at the lake? We learned that you're a bitch.
있어?
I'm sorry. Ismail is not a bitch. No. I did learn something.
일단 내가 획가닥해서 되져버리기 직전까지 가게 되더라도 너희 중 하나가 어떻게든 끄집어내줄 거라는 거.
If I ever lose the plot and push myself to the brink of no return, I trust that one of you louts will pull me right out of it. Yes, Heathcliff, please, do not put yourself inside Kathy. It's only going to end badly. I think. I have not read Wuthering Heights, and I don't know what happens in this Canto either. There's just something about cowboys. And, the South. And, wait, the Cowboys are in the West. Fuck you.
뭐 두들겨 패서라도 꺼내달라는 건가요?
Are you giving us permission to beat the sense back into you? I believe so, Ishmael.
두들겨 패서라도 그럴 필요가 있으면.
Yeah, if that's what it takes.
어디까지 허용이 되지? 신체 절단과 신경 조직 손상 중에
Ryoshi, what the fuck? Interesting. How far are we allowed to go with bodily harm? Amputation? Nerve mutilation? I'm gonna pull your teeth out and I'm gonna lick the spot where they used to be up.
머리 같은 데를 세게 쥐어박는 정도는 괜찮지 않을까요?
Maybe we can at least smack his head really hard. Sinclair, you're letting your intrusive thoughts out right now. Good, that's what I do every day.
아니 이 새끼들
Alright, you cheeky bastards.
나한테 쌓인 걸 풀라는 의미가 아니라고. 지금 진지하게.
Seriously, was that an invitation to use me as your emotional punching bag? I'm not in the mood to.
그래도 지금의 히스클리프 씨라면 잘 해내실 것 같다는 생각이 들어요.
Still, I think your present self can do this, Heathcliff.
뭔 소리야? 지금이라니.
What do you mean by my present self?
지금의 히스클리프 씨는 가난하고 남은 게 아무것도 없잖아요.
Heathcliff, your present self is deprived. You're poor and you don't have anything left. Shut the fuck up, rich boy.
뭐? 가난?
What? Poor?
이제는 아예 대놓고 시비 걸기로 작정했냐? 내가
Right now, you're skipping right past the pleasantries and going straight into personal insults. Yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
아니 오해가 있으신 것 같아요.
Ahaha, I think you took my words the wrong way. Honglu is far from the most talkative sinner, but when he does speak, he usually has something insightful to say. What? Half the things he says are about how his rich family would do things. What? Insights into the lives of rich people, maybe. Though since he never says it in a way that's immediately obvious, his words are very prone to misunderstanding.
저희는 모두 가난해요. 그러니 예전과는 많은 게 달라졌을 거예요.
Indeed,
어쩌면
Honglu, I've
가진 게
also never
아무것도
had
없을 때가
sex.
되어서야 몰랐던 걸 깨달을 수도 있으니까요.
Honglu, maybe in your Canto you'll become Honglu. Transcend your current self and become poor. In a way, we're all deprived. And that can change a lot of things. Maybe there are things that we can understand only when we're left with nothing.
가난하여서 이렇게 구릿구릿한 색깔을 계속 가지고 다녀야 하는 거요?
Does that poverty explain our current unsightly lack of colorfulness? Y'all are in T-Forbes nest. That is why you look sepia. You went through this in Yisang's Canto. What the fuck? Don Quixote looked mournfully at everything around her. Down at herself. She sounded like she was about to cry. It's alright, Don Quixote. Expressing your emotions is part of being healthy. Everything had been drained of color since the moment we entered T4 through the back streets. It feels like even more of our colors have been taken away since then.
그 얘기 언제 하나 했어?
So much that Virgilus is now the red what? What the fuck was Virgilus called? He's now the sepia color. The fucking. I was wondering when we'd bring that up.
대체 언제까지 이런 색깔로 다녀야 하는 거야?
Maybe we'll get our colors back soon.
라는 생각을 한 게 불과 10시간 전인데
That's what I thought, like 10 hours ago.
가도 원상복귀가 되지 않잖아. 이대로 평생 칙칙하게만 살아야 하는 거야? 이러면 식욕도 떨어져. 살아갈 의지가 없어지게 된다고.
Radia, Yisang is right there. Are we gonna be colorless forever? Or are we gonna be stuck in this gloomy hue for the rest of our lives? Seriously, nothing looks tasty in this sepia hue. I'm starting to lose even my will to live.
고기를 먹어도 고기가 상한 걸로밖에 안 보인다고.
Everything's in that sickly brown hue. Guys, even meat looks downright rotten in this color.
갑자기 너무 건너뛴 것 같지 않아?
That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it?
그리고 저 사람들은 옷의 색깔이 보이고 있잖아.
Oh, and what about those guys? They've got color in their clothes. With an annoyed look, Radia gestured toward the people outside the bus.
개개인분들께 해드린 답변을 합치면 23번째 답변이긴 합니다만
This is a money
색깔을
laundering.
돌려받으려면 그에 준하는 돈을 지불해야 합니다.
Sufficient amount of payment must be made in order to retrieve your colors. It must be emphasized that this question has been repeatedly answered on 23 separate occasions.
저 정도로 색깔을 돌려받은 거면 코트에 바지에
Let me have a gander. His coat, his trousers.
저 새낀 별로 잘 살지도 못하면서 허세만 있는 놈이야. 진짜 부자들은 안경테나 장신구까지 색깔을 되찾거든.
That bloke's not even that loaded. He's only trying to come off as though he is. Real tough, spare no cash to get every single color back. Even to their trivial trinkets like the rims of their glasses.
히스클리프 씨도 이곳에 살고 있을 동안은 계속 색을 보지 못한 상태였나요?
Did you also have to live without color when you lived here, Heathcliff?
아니, 저택은 어느 정도 예외였어. 그래도 여전히 색이 구린 곳이긴 했지만.
Nope. The manor had some color. Yeah. Though it was still far from vibrant.
동의 구려 피의 색 정도는 되찾았으면 싶군.
Agreed. This is the color of shit. Blood should have remained red.
그런데 저 자식 말이야. 저렇게 어설프게 색깔을 가진 채로 쏘다니면 괜히 뒤통수 얻어맞기 딱일 텐데.
That poor sod's gonna get himself jumped wandering with that look. That's just enough color to invite the bandits, but not enough to keep them away. Heathcliff's predictions came true. Soon enough, several thieves surrounded the bloke who's only trying to come off as though he's loaded and bashed him on the back of his head.
저런 극악무도 파렴치한 자들을 보았나?
Bah, a bunch of shameless villains they are.
혼자 다니는 무고한 시민을 단체로 핍박하고 있지 않나?
Preying on weak civilians like a pack of hyenas. Hyenas are very respectable, Don Quixote. You would try giving birth to a penis.
갱단이라고 부르는 분들인가요?
Are they what you would call a gang?
물이 흐려졌군. 저런 걸 갱단이라고 부를 수도 없고 시간을 못 채운 하류 인생들인 거지.
The gangs of T4 have certainly seen better days. I wouldn't even call them a gang. They're just lowlives running out of time.
내가 떠나올 때만 해도 저런 버러지 같은 것들은 저렇게 버젓이 돌아다니지도 않았어.
Last time I was here, scum like them couldn't even dare to infest the streets so prison. There are gangs that aren't scummy. Oh, Dante, you don't know nothing about inner city life.
당연하지. 내가 있었던 갱단은 저런 식으로 만만한 놈한테 우르르 몰려가지 않았다고.
Of course, the gang I was in would never dogpile on some poor unarmed folk like that.
탈론, 쌩쌩 달리고 싶어. 길이 막혀서 부릉부릉 못해.
Aaron wants to vroom vroom. Can't vroom vroom with the roadblock.
뭐 여기서 시간을 지체하는 것도 의미가 없지.
Well, there isn't much point in waiting for the situation to resolve itself. Virgil's finally spoke up after quietly listening to our discussion for the last few minutes.
돈 키호테가 시끄럽게 굴기 전에 내려서 처리하고 오도록.
Take care of them before Don Quixote starts making a fuss about it.
정의 집행이군. 고맙네.
An enchantment of justice. I thank thee.
길잡이 씨도 익숙해졌나 봐 이제.
He's really starting to get the hang of this, huh? I'm just imagining Virgil is walking Don Quixote like a fucking dog village. Excellent. 148th done.
내 명을 들은 시비수 결집이다.
뭐야? 이놈은 우리가 먼저 찜했어.
Away you get. This one's out.
너희도 시간이 부족해서 온 놈들인가 본데. 우리는 고작 30분밖에 안 남았다고.
Looks like you all are running low on time as well. Tough luck. We only got 30 minutes ourselves.
혹시 데드레비치 같은 갱단 쪽인 거 아닐까?
Boy, maybe you're one of the dead rabbits or something.
30분? 시간? 아니, 무슨 소리를 하는 거야?
30 minutes? 30 minutes for what?
그럴 리가. 옛날에 자경단 활동 같은 걸 했던 데드레비치는 이지 없어. 괴사가 마스크 쓰고 쾌한 눈으로 그냥 노려보기만 할 뿐이니까.
Impossible. The old dead rabbits and their vigilant ways are no more. All they do nowadays is stare at you funny from behind those odd masks.
뭐? 마스크? 지금 뭐라고?
Masks? What? What are you?
에이, 가뜩이나 시간 없어 죽겠는데 젠장 후딱후딱 해치워주마.
Wallach, we don't got time for this. Let's kill him quick. They begin rushing at us with bloodshot eyes, not even giving Heathcliff time to finish his sentence. Well, you all are not going to finish your lives now. Enjoy.
즐거움. 언제나 순탄치 않았고 때로는 어설펐지만 여러분과 함께하는 여행은 늘 제 마음을 설레게 만들었답니다.
나선 속을 벗어날 수
그렇게
없다.
여기서 멈추고 싶지 않고 단테 다들 첫 여정을 시작했을 때보다 정말 강해지셨네요. 매일
모든 것을
보아왔는데도
견뎠어.
지금은 감회가 새로워요.
일기당천.
말로 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
저 해충들을 도려내. 하나 넘고 둘 넘고
아,
오여.
여기선 이런 공격이 잘 먹히는군요.
길을 열어.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 바람 불어오는 게
아직 싱크할 내역이 남았으니 죽지는 마시게.
그 시선 벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
저희에게도 이런 힘을 베풀어 주시다니 마음씨가 넓은 분이실까요? 아, 실수로 주셨더라도 상관없어요. 한 번 베푼 이상 낙장 불입이랍니다.
일기당천. 하나 넘고
이 풍진 세상에서 힘껏 살아가느라 수고 많으셨어요.
Why these foolish
이제 뭐든지
gangsters will never know I hit.
그 끝에
Please
고요한
ignore
휴식이
that my
있기를.
voice is constantly changing as I find the appropriate southern accent to do for this video.
일기당천.
목을 떨궈주마. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
무상한 목숨 불끈을 지원해
우와, 봤어요 단테님? 돌아오면 칭찬을 잔뜩 해주셔야겠는걸요?
친히 목을 떨궈주마.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 피자 동정은 필요 없겠죠? 이 풍진 세상에서 힘껏 살아가느라 수고 많으셨어요.
Oh my one motion die.
이제 모든 짐 놓으셨으니
Nani.
짐승들의 재갈을 풀겠다.
휴식이 있기를.
바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게
Level
되겠지.
25?
이 홍루가 무얼 바꾸었는지를.
아, 뭐야.
슈그리.
오늘은 시간을 얼마나 뜯으려나? 오늘은 시간을 얼마나 뜯으려나?
아, 뭐야.
의로움을 세우기 위해서라면
명령하실 때까지 자리에서 대기하겠습니다.
보는 눈은 있네요. 여기서 저만큼 유능한 인재는 흔치 않죠.
만국된 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소.
Johnny Dungeon.
야, 너
Oi.
모자 멋진데? 어디서 샀냐?
Nice hat you got there. Where'd you get it?
잘못했습니다. 다 가져가세요. 제 시계에서 원하시는 만큼 시간을 빼가셔도 됩니다.
Eek. I'm sorry. Please, take everything. Take as much time as you want. Here's my watch.
클리프군?
Sir Heathcliff, Professor Kleptomaniac, from the people. It's what the usual and flowering question. He certainly fits the look of a villain from this particular end.
야, 방금 건 그냥 칭찬한 거잖아. 이놈이 유독 오버해서 반응하는 거라고.
Last. I was just complimenting him for his sharp fashion choices. The lad's overreacted.
저는 이것 빼고는 완전 아무것도 없어요. 납치 같은 걸 해봤자 돈 나올 건덕지가 없다고요.
This is literally everything I have. I don't have any money for a ransom, even if you were to kidnap me.
납치는 안 됩니다. 집에 기다리는 가족들이 있어요.
Please, please don't kidnap me. I've got family. They're all waiting for me to come home. The man we inadvertently saved from the hands of thieves was shuddering and screaming incoherently, almost to an unnatural degree. And we were still not out of the dark alleyways, where other thieves might be waiting to get the jump.
아이씨, 무슨 시끄러운 소리가? 어?
The hell is this racket? Oh,
이것들 뭐야? 아, 이렇게 시간이 굴러 들어온다고?
well, what do we have here? I think I'm seeing loads of time rolling right before us.
10분, 아니 5분이라도 좋으니까 얼른!
10 minutes. Don't take 5 minutes too. Hand it over now.
도대체가 이놈이고 저놈이고 왜 다들 시간 타령인 거야?
Why the hell is this fella here so obsessed with time? I think it has to do with the color restoration.
아니면 모조리 해치운 뒤에 저 시계를 뺏어가는 방법밖에 없겠지.
If you won't give it up willingly, we'll have to kill you all and take that clock. Well said. Huh? What? Wait, me?
비록 함께 전장에 나서는 건 아니지만 저희를 이끌어주는 건 단테님만 할 수 있는 일이에요. 이번에도 분명 원하시는 길로 저희를 잘 이끌어주시겠죠?
말로 받았다. 저 해충들을 도려내. 물 넘고 꺾어제 쳐라.
아, 여기선 이런 공격이 잘 먹히는군요.
길을 열어.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 다들 첫 여정을 시작하실 때보다 정말 강해지셨네요.
모든 것에
매일 보아하는데도 지금은 감회가 새로워요.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
마음이 열어졌다.
거슬하긴.
저희에게도 이런 힘을 베풀어 주시다니 마음씨가 넓은 분이실까요? 아, 실수로 주셨더라도 상관없어요. 한 번 베푼 이상 낙장 불입이랍니다.
해보겠네.
하나 넘고 물 넘고 각자의
벗어날 수 있다. 무상각했어. 불끄듯 지원할 뿐. 피가 튀겠고.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 이 풍진 세상에서 힘껏 살아가느라 수고 많으셨어요. 이제 모든 짐 놓으셨으니 그 끝에 고요한 휴식이 있기를.
Very well.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
Got a full pride flag going down here. Wait, fuck. The pride is not. Oh shit.
말로
그걸
고작 이
때는 마음
정도
그래.
탕류의 허덕이. 저 해충들을 도려내. 하나 넘고 물 넘고 모여 길을 열어.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
불가.
너
Yeah. E.
닥쳐라. 쓸데없이 네가 비명 지르는 바람에 일이 자꾸 꼬이잖아.
Quiet, or you'll attract even more of them to us.
당장 안 닥치면 사람 먹는 버스로 끌고 간 다음에 저 고철 덩어리한테 먹이는 수가 있다. 어?
But you're not helping. Shut your gob right now, or we'll feed you the meat grinder back at our rickety cannibal bus. Is that clear?
그러면
Then,
저를 납치하러 온 사람들이 아닌가요?
The cannibal busting didn't scare you? What the fuck? They're not here to kidnap you.
그래. 몇 번이나 말했던 것 같지만.
Oh. Or the... I don't even know how many times you told me.
그럴 리가 없지 않소. 우리 앤 우연히 지나가는 정의로운 림보.
Of course not. Indeed. For we are the limba... Big... Justin. He's trying so hard. So hard not to...
아니, 나그네들이었어. 여기 있는 히스클리프 군이 말투가 조금 괴팍하여 그렇지.
The passerbys of justice. Sir Heathcliff here can be rather boorish in his manner of speech. That is all.
그렇군요. 나그네.
Right. Passerbys of justice.
그런데 왜 돈이 아니라 시간을 달라고 하는 거죠?
So why are they asking for us for time, not money?
시간도 사고 팔 수 있는 걸까?
Maybe time's just another commodity to be sold and bought here.
T사 가이드북 여전히 아직도?
Good old Ishmael, she's back. Huh. Guys, it's just me. The T-Corp pamphlet guy. No one really... Ishmael's eyes start to glaze over. Once again, she may not have been willing sooner to bother to read up on our destination.
T사, 즉 타임 트랙사에서는
In T-Corp, also known as Time Track Corporation.
시계를 신분증의 역할로 쓰고 있어. 이들이 지니고 있는 시계를 통하여 화폐 대신에 시간을 거래하기도 하오. 대부분의 근로자는 노동에 대한 보상을 시간으로 지급받지.
Citizenry utilizes timepieces as personal identification. They oft trade with time instead of physical currency. Their means of transaction done via timepieces they carry. Most laborers in these lands are rewarded for their efforts with time.
이상 씨를 봐서 이번엔 넘어가죠.
Oh, thanks for the explanation. He's saying, "I'll let it slide this time." This is going to be a problem. Oh, this is the only one of us who carries a watch.
아, 그 시간이 멈춰 있는 소목시계 말씀이죠? 패션용으로 착용하고 있는.
Oh, a broken wristwatch. I always thought that wearing a stopwatch was a neat fashion statement.
패션용인 적은 없었다. 무례한 말을.
It's not a fashion item. It never was. How insolent we were to see.
그리고 아까 말한 납치라는 건 무슨 뜻이었어?
I didn't grasp what got you so freaked out about our kidnapping verdict.
T사 길거리엔 사람들이 마구잡이로 납치당한다는 흉흉한 소문이 돌고 있어서요.
There's a pretty scary rumor of indiscriminate kidnappings going around these T-Corp streets.
이젠 아무도 다니지 않는 거리인데 이렇게 때로 다니시니 소문의 납치 조직인가 해서.
These abandoned streets. So when I saw a dozen or so people run around together, I was scared you guys might be the infamous kidnapping syndicate or something.
구체적으로 말해보도록. 육하 원칙을 활용하면 더 좋고.
We need more details. I want the who, when, where, what, how, and why. Proceed.
실종자들 때문이에요.
People have been going missing around here.
최근 들어 이곳에서 사람들이 이유 없이 행방불명된다고 해요. 이젠 다들 안개가 자욱해지기만 해도 무서워서 집에만 박혀 있죠.
This kind of became the last known location for a bunch of missing people. Everyone becomes a shut-in during the foggy days because they don't want to get kidnapped.
마침 여기 굴러다니고 있는 디타임즈 신문지 일면에도 쓰여 있네요. 오리무중인 납치 사건, 충격, 경악, 공포. 실체조차 한 군도 발견되지 않아.
Look, it's even on the front page of this Times newspaper here. Mysterious kidnapping fear sweeps district. Not even a single body found. I can keep reading if you want. Marisol, Radia, and Don Quixote began enthusiastically reading the sensationalized titles and the attached articles on the newspaper he showed us.
이 근처에 상을 받은 맛집이
There's an award-winning eatery in your pant. I said nothing. That was not the Bruno brain speaking. Oh, I gotta check out this award-winning eatery. It's not so far from where we are.
시간에서 해결사들이 이런 인터뷰를
Huh? The time or two fixers have said as such in these interviews. Are you guys even reading the same article? No.
확실히 평소보다 지나다니는 인간들이 훨씬 줄어들었어.
That's right. There's a lot less people around here than I remember.
여기는 원래 공장으로 일하러 가는 노동자나 조잡한 장비를 팔러 나온 발명가들이 붐비던 거리야. 이렇게 거리가 텅텅 비었던 적은 없었는데.
The street used to be packed with workers, heading to their factory jobs, and inventors trying to sell their useless trinkets. It's never been this empty. The empty street of Heathcliff was thick with fog. The bustling crowd from Heathcliff's memories nowhere to be seen. Maybe the lack of color made the fog appear even thicker.
일전 검계와의 소동에서 들었던 괴담과 흡사한 이야기인 것 같군.
It reminded me of the kidnapping rumor we heard when we were working on the Blade lineage case.
행방불명이라. 역시 사람을 납치해서 팔아넘기는 악질적인 조직이 있는 걸까요?
Missing people. Maybe there really is a messed up kidnapping human trafficking syndicate roaming this area.
그런 놈들이 대놓고 활보한다는 이야기는 못
This
들었는데.
your old syndicate, isn't it?
적어도
I've never heard of such
내가 있었을 때.
syndicates running around this place. Back when I lived here, at least.
인신매매 따위가 목적인 조직이 있다면 흔적 하나둘은 남을 수밖에 없다.
It is statistically impossible for a human trafficking syndicate to leave zero evidence behind. There's bound to be one or two that they let slip between their fingers.
거리를 이렇게 만들 정도로 거대한 움직임이라면 더더욱 시체 안 둘 정도는 찾기 마련이다.
Especially if the syndicate is so prolific to the point that they indirectly discouraging the public from leaving their homes. A body or two will inevitably be found.
시체도 남지 않는다는 건 단지 죽거나 죽이는 정도의 내용이 아닌
If they really don't leave any bodies behind, then maybe it's worse than your usual murder.
깊이 파고들수록 위험한 일일 수 있다는 건가요?
Maybe it'll be more dangerous the more we look into it. Not just another violent tragedy, but maybe there's some more to this than we think. Maybe there's some powerful organization pulling the strings.
아니, 시체만으로는 그렇게 보기 힘들지 않나?
All our conjecture remains from just the fact that no bodies have been found.
네?
I'm sorry,
뒷골목에 밤이 있잖아.
guys. The night is the back streets.
그 청소부들이 지나가면 시체를 포함한 쓰레기들은 전부 청소되어 있으니까.
The single sweep from those sweepers leaves nothing behind. Even trash in the back streets, including corpses, is completely cleaned up.
그렇군. 시체까지 말끔하게 치워버릴 수도 있겠네.
Right, they cleaned up even the corpses, yeah.
당연히 쓰레기만 청소하는 게 아니라는 건 무서운
I
일이지만
don't know, because they licked my dick clean one time, so. Of course, it's kind of scary that they clean up even more than just trash. Yeah, the idea of sweepers really freaks things out for a while.
그건 밤마다 로저 씨가 이상한 흉내를 내면서 저한테만
That's good because Radia kept making plain notes and sweeper impressions at me every night. She cleaned his dick.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지.
안개 낀 거리에서 일어나는 미스터리 실종 사건이라.
Alright. A mysterious case of missing persons is just in the street, shrouded in thick, heavy fog.
무슨 괴담
It's
같네요.
almost as if we're in the middle of some scary
무서운
urban
건
legend.
아니고요.
Not that I'm scared. Not at all. Haha. Hahahaha.
억지로 웃지 않아도 돼, 싱클레어.
Don't force yourself to laugh, Sinclair.
불길하네. 첫 판부터 주눅드는 기세로 가면 좋지 않은데.
I don't like this at all. We're this scared so soon after entering the nest. Everyone seems to be on edge thanks to the upsetting story we heard earlier. I don't know what to do. Take your clothes off. Orgy time. Hey Heathcliff, that invitation. Can you read it out loud for us again? It'll be a good idea to remind ourselves of our current mission. Besides, I could use a refresher myself.
그까지 초대장 읽어서 뭐 하라고?
Dante, how shit is your memory? I know you're an amnesiac, but holy fuck. It's just an invitation. There ain't anything special about it. The neatly folded invitation Heathcliff procured from his pockets completely betrayed his attempt at appearing aloof. It was folded with such tender care it almost resembled a neat paper craft. He cleared his throat. Ahem. Sometime later.
부디 참석하시어 이
Please
자리를
honor this
빛내주시면
occasion with your
감사하겠습니다.
presence.
경의를 담아, 넬리.
With great respect, Nelly.
그리고
And
아이씨. 꼭 와야 해, 히스. 기다리고 있을게. 캐시가.
you have to be here, Heath. I'll be waiting. Kathy. Kathy gonna stick a catheter up your dick. Not that I know anything about that. Damn. Whoa. This wasn't exactly what I had in mind when I asked him to read that letter. Dante, the fuck did you expect?
여기가 무슨 동네 술집이에요?
So, what are we? A party crowd at some dive bar?
아, 이런 분위기 아니었어?
Well, that wasn't what we were going for.
내가 이럴 줄 알았지. 화낼 기분도 안 나네.
I knew that this would happen. I knew mad.
애초에 기다린다고 했을 뿐이지 만나고 싶다고 한 것도 아니고.
See you, Nick. Besides, all she said is that she'd be waiting. She never said she missed me or wanted to see me.
아니, 그래도 말이야. 이 문구를 보면은
Come on, bud. Look at the way she wrote it here.
어디?
Let me see. Since Sinclair, some sinner or what? Some sinners gather in a circle like they're doing literary analysis of the invitation letter. Maybe I was worrying too much. These people are dumb as fuck. Yes, including you, he's saying in Faust.
꼭 연애 편지 처음 받아보는 학생들 같네요.
Do you remember your first love letter from Cromer? All your love letters come from a cycle. Like they're like school kids opening the first love letters.
뭐야? 싱클레어는 저런 거에 관심 없었어?
What? Were you never interested in those things, Sinclair?
저는 열심히 공부만 했어요. 책과 칠판만 보면서 성실히 살았다고요.
I was a good diligent student. The only thing I ever cared about was sucking bonus sticks. Moving on.
싱클레어군, 또다시 얼굴이 붉어지고 있어.
Sinclair, thy countenance appear to be turning rosy again.
체질이라고 지난번에 말했잖아요.
For the last time, I said it's genetics. It's genetics that made me attracted to Yander cycle bitches.
그럼 단테는?
What about you, Dante? The fuck?
아니다.
Never mind. Hey, what's with that oddly sorry look on your face?
안타까울 필요는 없다. 세상엔 많은 취향이 존재하고 있으니.
The manager has no need for your sympathy. I am certain that there are those who appreciate their unique appearance. I would grab those clock hands and hold them while I violently rarely
그런데 이상하지 않소?
Is it not odd?
히스클리프 씨가 연애 편지를 받는 게요?
What? Someone actually wrote Heathcliff a love letter. As if you're doing any better, Ishmael.
이상 씨, 그런 말은 좀 너무하네요.
Oh my, he's saying that's such a rude thing to say.
아니, 그런 무례한 말을 한 것이 아니라 나는
No, I had no intention of relaying such past sentiments to you.
농담이에요, 농담. 저도 이상 씨랑 같은 걸 느꼈으니까요.
Just kidding, he's saying. Just kidding. I was actually thinking the same thing. Orgy.
티사 어딘가에 있을 로보토미 지부가 아니라 다 같이 워더링 하이츠라는 저택으로 향한다는 건
Since we're not looking for a bomb in core branch of T4. Since we're heading to this Wuthering Heights manor instead.
그곳으로 도달해야 황금 가지를 얻을 수 있다는 소리일 테니까.
I suppose that's where we'll find the golden bow.
정확하게 짚어주었구려, 이스마일 양.
That was precisely what I intended to convey, Miss Ishmael.
찬물 끼얹는 역할을 하는 것도 슬슬 지겨워져서 입을 닫고 있었는데
Thank you for bringing that
때마침
up.
고마운 지적을 하는군.
I was starting to get tired of being the bringer of unpleasant news.
우리가 워더링 하이츠로 향하는 이유가 설마 저 편지 한 장 때문이라고 생각한다면 큰 실망을 느꼈을 거다.
Hopefully none of you are under the impression that we're heading to Wuthering Heights just because of some invitation Heathcliff received. Because if you are, you'll be sorely disappointed.
그래서 이 문맥을 보면 결국 하려는 말이
Right, so if we're looking at the context she wrote this in, what she's really trying to say here is, I wanna fuck you, Heath.
아니, 그보다는 이 어투를 봐야지.
No, but you gotta look at the tone she used here.
뭐 일단 넘어가죠.
Sure, moving on.
LCCB로부터 황금가지의 관측 보고가 있었습니다.
There was a report from the LCCB that a golden bow has been observed.
위치는 워더링 하이츠 저택 어딘가.
They narrowed its location down to somewhere within the Wuthering Heights manor.
하지만 특유의 보안 시스템으로 인해 LCCB 틈이 잠입하는 것은 위험 부담이 크므로
But there was a
황금가지의
significant
정확한
risk
위치는
on account of
파악되지
the manor's
못했습니다.
unique security system that prevented the before team from conducting their on-site preliminary survey. The exact location of the bow is not yet identified.
특유의 보안 시스템?
Unique
그런 게
security
있었나?
measures. Not sure if I remember anything like that.
그렇다면 더더욱 네 이상하다고밖에 말할 수
Right,
없겠네요.
then it's even more odd. No other way to put it.
동의하오. 비록
이
황금가지의 값어치와
remain
그
ignorant
위상에
of
대해
the monetary
정확히
value
알고
and
있는
public
것은
perception of its
아니지만
worth. Indeed.
평범한 저택 안에 그런 것이 놓여 있을 리가 만무할 것 같소.
I do not know that the golden bow is. I do know that the golden bow is not an item so easily obtained that may be housed in a normal private man.
황금가지가 처음부터 그곳에 위치해 있었던 것은 아니었다. 정도만 말씀드리죠.
It can be shared that the golden bow wasn't always located inside the man.
티살 로보토미즈부 어딘가에 있었던 황금가지가 모종의 이유로 저택으로 옮겨졌다는 것이구려.
I see. Then the golden bow in its previous location in unknown area within the T-Corp Lubami Corp branch has been transferred to the manor for a reason we are yet aware of.
캐서린이라는 인물이 이번 작전의 핵심이겠군요.
Right. Then this Catherine person will be a major part of this operation.
황금 가지를 자기 저택 안에 소유하고 있는 자라니.
Have the golden bow all to herself in that manner.
그리고 황금 가지가 아니더라도 히스클리프 씨가 자신을 보러 저택에 와줄 거라고 믿어 의심치 않는 아주 자신만만한 사람일 거고.
None of this conversation seemed to even register to Heathcliff, however.
혹시 주위에 이발소나 양품점이 보이면 말해줘.
Let me know if you see a barber shop or boutique nearby.
무슨 명소마다 멈춰서는 관광버스로 생각하고 있는 건 아니겠지.
This isn't a tour bus, Heathcliff. We will not make unnecessary stops to the ones you see.
그냥 나를 내려주고 먼저 가도 되잖아. 뒤따라갈 수 있어.
Right, then I'll get to it. And why don't you just leave me behind and go ahead? I'll catch up.
제가 두 눈 커다랗게 뜨고 계속 보고 있는데 말이죠, 히스클리프 씨.
So Heathcliff, I've been watching the shops very closely.
아까의 그 소문 때문인지는 몰라도 이 시간에 길거리에 열려 있는 가게가 보이지 않아요. 안개가 자욱해서 더 그런가 싶기도 하네요.
I don't know, there's a single open shop. Right, because of the rumors from earlier and the fog.
역시 저랑 로자 씨한테 맡겨보시는 게 제일...
Why don't you just leave it to us, Roddy and I?
아이씨, 야 잠깐.
What the hell are you? Wait. The bus emerged from the back streets into a rather quiet-looking village. The fog was thick, and everything was still in that faded hue. Even the occasional sightings of pedestrians had ceased. The very idea of color gradation seemed like an alien concept here. All I see are orange-hued lights coming through the window of misty gray buildings. It was as though everyone decided to stay indoors for the day. I can't even tell where we are, or how close we are to our destination anymore. Have you ever been here by any chance? He's saying. We're the only other sinner who had spent time in T4, so I decided to ask him if he recognized anything. But it was evident that this scenery was unfamiliar to him.
나는 최대한 사람들의 눈을 끌지 않으며 연구와 생업에 몰두하고자 하였지. 하여 T사를 그리 자유로이 오가진 못했소.
You shot him. Though I have not resided here for some time, most of my hours were spent earning a living and conducting my research when I could afford to do so. Thus I have not ventured freely the streets of T-Corp. Can't imagine doing any research at a place like this. Can't have been easy.
익숙해지면 괜찮소. 오히려 이곳에서 나고 자란 이들에겐 색이 있다는 것이 신기한 것이니.
It is quite manageable once one grows accustomed to the monochromatic style. The presence of variation in color itself is a concept alien to those who are born and raised in these lands.
그리고 나는 잠시나마 기댈 수 있는 자들이 있었네. 이는 낯선 곳에 적응하는데 꽤 많은 도움이 되지.
And I had shoulders of those I can lean on, even for a fleeting moment. It helps that I have such support when acclimating to a place as foreign as this. My accent changes every minute. No, every second. It's never gonna be the same. Watching this VOD is gonna be a fucking nightmare. Yisang looks away to a place far beyond from here. Memories of his past, most likely. His realization that Dongbek wanted to fuck him.
T사의 특이점이 어떤 것인지에 대해선 아는
Did
게
you ever
있나?
hear anything about what T-Corp singularity is?
그것에 대해선 특이점이 의뢰 그렇듯 나도 무어라 정확히 추론할 수는 없는 작동 원리라 함이 맞겠소. 다만
As all singularities are, its true nature, its mechanisms and function are all something of an enigma. Yet, the inner workings of my mind are an enigma. Yisang paused and carefully began to speak.
시간과 관련이 되어 있다는 것만은 알고 있었소. 정확히 어떠한 시간을
I'm aware it has aught to do with time, though I am unsure of its use.
이 또한 부질없는 추측이며 답은 파우스트 양만이 알겠소만.
Well, I suppose all this must be meaningless conjecture, but only Miss Faust among us must be aware of the answer.
T사가 거주자들로부터 끊임없이 색을 빼앗아가는 이유 중 하나죠.
Its singularity is one of the reasons T-Corp constantly drains colors from its inhabitants.
그게 색이랑 무슨 상관인데?
The passage of light. What's time got to do with color?
시간을 필연적으로 제어해야 하는 곳이라면 빛과 연관이 있는 영역일 것이며.
Yes. I get for once being a scientist came through. Remember, I am not only a cowboy and a vampire, but also a scientist. An actual fucking scientist. Which is why I made that post about going to label from Nikkei. Because I will. It is not a matter of if, but when. If the control of time is so imperative to T-Corp's operations, then they must also control the realm of light.
빛은 또한 색과도 밀접한 관련이 있으니 종국엔 색과 얽히게 되는 것입니다.
As light inherently has much to do with the spectrum of colors, these two subjects eventually overlap.
제가 알고 있는 시간에 대해서까진 추론이 가능했습니다만 파우스트가 가진 T사의 특이점과 관련된 지식에 접근하기까지는 저에게 아직은 시간이 걸린다는 말도 덧붙여야겠군요.
That is as far as I can deduce regarding the concept of time that I am aware of. Yet it must also be said that it takes time for me to reach Faust's specific knowledge regarding T-Corp singularity. Faust, known amongst us for maybe, and perhaps rarely gave us answers this detailed. Now is the time to ask her all my questions.
파우스트 양,
Will you have sex with me? Oh. Miss Faust, as we discuss the subject of time.
네.
Indeed.
T사에 관한
Do we say
이야기는
for us to move on
여기까지
from
하는
the
편이
subject of T-Corp
안전하겠군요.
at this time?
또 말해줄 것처럼 하다가 입을 닫아버렸네.
There she goes again, teasing us with stuff she's not going to tell us anyway. Well, I guess I should be glad that she decided to tell us this much. I doubt she'll tell us more, no matter how much we try.
그런데 좀 씁쓸하네요.
That's kind of sad.
특이점으로 인해서
Just like your sex life.
평생 색을 모른 채로 살아가는 사람들도 있단 거잖아요.
That there are people who've never seen color their whole lives, all because of the singularity.
뭐 다 그런 거지. 우리도 어쩌면 지금 다른
Capitalism,
사람이 볼
ladies
때
and
뭣도
gentlemen,
모르고
and
사는 불쌍한
non-binaries,
사람일 수도
capitalism.
있으니까.
Well, that's just how it goes, isn't it? In the eyes of a stranger, we'd just be one of those poor, miserable people who've never seen color.
뭐가 되었든 고기 맛을 한번 본 적이 있다는 게 무서운 거야. 평생 모르고 살면 좋을 텐데. 기어코 고기 맛을 보면 알기 전으로 돌아가기는 불가능하니까.
I bet Radia eats a lot of meat. She eats as much meat as she wants. Male, female, it doesn't matter. The cock, the pussy, so much well. That's the danger in trying your very first bite of the meat. You taste it once and you'll never unknow the flavor. In the end, you'll start to wish you never tried it.
햇빛의 색깔까지 보이지 않는 건 아쉽네요.
It is pretty disappointing that even the sun loses its vibrancy here.
하늘의 색이 그리워질 때는 많았어. 특히 얕게 비가 올 때는.
After I see the colors of the sky, long to see the colors of the sky, especially the sky that looms over a light shower of rain.
그래, 그런 것들도 각자 알던 하늘의 색이 있었으니까 아쉽고 그리워지게 되는 거지. 처음부터 이곳의 하늘만 보고 살다 죽는다면 그건 불행도 아닐 거야.
Yeah, things like the color of the sky too. You long to see it only because you've seen its beauty. If you were born here, never to escape its borders, till the last of your days without seeing the blue sky, then I'd hardly call that death miserable. Released from your
그것까지
soul.
불행하다고 말한다면 오히려 오만한 게 되는 거지.
Calling that miserable is nothing but sheltered arrogance.
그렇게 생각할 수도 있겠네요.
I guess that could also be true. The atmosphere in the bus, sea, suddenly became incredibly frosty. Like a sundae from Dairy Queen.
아, 그거 해보자. 가장 좋아하는 색깔이 뭔지에 따라서
Lord,
각자
this is
성격을 알 수
absolutely
있다던데.
perfect. I will not explain my actions. Oh, hey. Speaking of color, I got something to ask you. Have you guys ever heard of the colors game? Apparently, each type of personality has a corresponding color. Yeah, the Right, I was the first one to chill the bus. Was also the first to break the ice. With an ice pick. Appropriate for someone based on a
이상이
Russian story.
하늘색을 좋아하는 거라면 어디 보자. 고요하고 조용한 당신, 생각에 빠져 잠기는 걸 좋아하는군요.
This is bullshit. If Sang enjoys the light color of the sky, then let's see. You must be a thinker and a philosopher who enjoys the calm and quiet. I like the color of pinkish because it's the color of Radio's nipples.
오, 어떻게 하는 것이오? 그거 참 기묘한 재주로군.
How did you know that? That was quite the remarkable talent you have.
나도 해줘. 나는 말이지 붉은색이 좋소. 아니 노란색. 아니 붉은색? 아니.
Hark. I wish my favorite color to be rated as well. Forsooth, I quite fancy the color red. Nay, yellow. Nay, red. Nay.
자, 차례를 기다려. 그 다음에는 파우스트.
Now, wait your turn. Next in order is Faust.
저는
잠깐.
Wait up.
무슨 말 할지 다 알아.
I know exactly what you're
파우스트는
about to
대체로
say.
그런 걸 믿지 않는답니다.
You're about to say
라고
Faust does not
하겠지?
hold much belief in such ideations or something like that, right?
그런 사람은 대체로 흰색을 좋아하더라고. 그렇지?
Which is exactly
자기
what
머리색이랑도
people who like the
똑같네.
color white would say. I'm right, aren't I? Like your hair is white too.
그저 말을 아끼겠습니다.
I will not comment further on the subject. Called out, bitch.
나? 제일 좋아하는
Me?
색깔?
My favorite color?
참, 뭘 그딴 걸 물어봐 남사스럽게.
What a stupid question. That's not last.
나는
But I like purple. He pauses. A great manner begins to emerge into our view from a distance. I could immediately tell that this was the Wuthering Heights manor Heathcliff had mentioned.
검은색.
Black.
모든 물감을 다 섞어버리면 나오는 색 아닌가? 그거.
It's the color you get when you dump an entire set of paint into a bucket, ain't it?
그래서 제일 볼만한 색깔이지.
Exactly why I tolerate.
거칠만 계속
Keep
해버리면
throwing
되는
paint over
거니까.
paint, you get black. Simple. I can clearly hear that Heathcliff is muttering through gritted teeth. I have a feeling that black wasn't always his favorite color. Oh. They really are withholding the art of this mansion on this map. The makeover. The boy out. Oh, that's not a loading screen. Two things changed the moment the Wuthering Heights Manor appeared over the horizon.
거울 있는 사람 없냐? 야, 뭐 아무거나 내놔봐.
Mirror. I need a mirror. Anyone got a mirror? Come on, anyone.
왜 이러시는가, 히스클리프군. 이 거울은
What's gone into you, Heathcliff? This mirror isn't. Shut the fuck up, mirror man. One was Heathcliff, who was suddenly overcome with intense anxiety, and the other was weather that grew dark and tempestuous all of a sudden. What a terrifying noise.
원래 이렇게 날씨가 궂은 곳이었나요?
Was the weather here always this awful?
바람은 항상 거세게 몰아치긴 했어. 거의 폭풍 수준이었지.
It was always this windy. Yeah, almost like a constant tempest.
하지만 이런 천둥이랑 번개다.
With this thunder and lightning.
뭐 워더링 하이츠의 날씨는 어느 쪽이든 구릿구릿했지만.
Well, the weather at Wuthering Heights is always this awful, thunder or not.
멀리서만 봐도 저택이 정말 크네요.
That really is one massive manor if it looks that big from this far away.
침침한 눈의 카론, 침침하게 도착.
Karen can't see well. Not sure if this is the right place, but we're here.
번개가 번쩍번쩍. 눈 아파.
Lightning goes boom, eyes go out. The manor looked as though it came straight out of the dark, gothic tale full of mysteries. Maybe because it fucking did. I was half expecting to hear a haunting cry echo from his windows. Sorry, just waiting for Virgilus to go off the bus again.
안 그런 적이 없지 않았나?
When hasn't that been the case, manager, but
그래도 지금까지는 지부거나 회사였잖아요. 이번에는 그냥 저택일 뿐인데.
I mean, it's not like we're digging into a lobotomy for a branch or entering one of the wings, right? It's just a manor, so I don't see what's stopping him from coming with us.
자, 내리지.
Now off the bus.
나와 카루는
Karen and I are gonna have sex. Okay, no,
이번에도
they're
밖에서
fine. Oh,
기다리고
they're
있겠다고?
We'll wait outside until you're done with your mission. None of the sinners are hiding their dissatisfaction with Virgil's. Some of them were even standing with their arms crossed.
다들 표정을 보아하니 단체로 할 말이라도 있는 듯한 모양새군.
By the looks on their faces, clearly you all got to have something to say.
본인은 아닐세. 감히. 아무튼 아무 생각도 하지 않았네.
Of course not. Ahem. I would hardly ever dare to challenge thee. Well, maybe not every sinner. We've gone through a lot of things, survived various trials and tribulations. Tribulations that could have been easily handled had Virgil's been there with us. So, Virgil's. Looks like Ishmael decided to step up as a representative.
처음에 길잡이라고 우리에게 소개하지 않았나요?
You introduced yourself to us as our guide, didn't you?
그런데 길잡이는커녕 매번 작전마다 우리를 출발선에 내려두고 카론 씨랑 무엇을 하러 다니는 건데요?
What kind of guide just tosses everyone to start a journey and goes off on their own without the bus driver? Where are you guys even going? Fuck you, Ishmael.
쓸데없이 짜증 부리는 게 아니라고요.
No, seriously, I want to fuck.
이 점은 확실히 하죠.
Oh, I make it clear that I'm not being a hard ass for no good reason. You're being a hard ass for bad reason.
저는 당신을 신뢰하고 싶으니까 물어보는 거예요.
I'm asking you because I want to trust you.
같은 부서의 동료라면 적어도 업무 간 행선지 정도는 공유하자고요.
After all, we're technically all in the same boat. We're co-workers. I'd say the least you could do is to tell us where we're heading. Virgil has held his silence for a moment. His brows were not as furrowed as they usually are, which was the only indicator that made me think that he wasn't as offended as I thought he'd be.
너희가 특정 계약을 통해 이곳에 입사를 한 것처럼
Just like you sinners who joined this company via your individual contracts.
나 역시도 어떤 조건이 적혀 있는 계약서를 통해
I'll
이곳에
sign a contract
입사했지.
with specific clauses and conditions I must abide by.
특색나리께서도 계약서를 썼다는 말인겐가?
Well, the company made thee a color most illustrious. Sign a contract as well?
당연하지 않나. 내가 아무 손익 계산 없이 이 버스에서 철부지들을 통솔하고 있겠나.
Of course I did. Why would I be babysitting your children on this bus otherwise? I'm not one to work for free.
자세한 계약의 내용까지 너희에게 말해줄 생각도 없고
I don't want to
언급해서도
bother
안
detailing
되겠지만
every and each clause of my contract to you, nor should I.
이스마엘, 네가 말한 신뢰라는 단어는 제법 마음에 들었다. 그러니 간단하게만 언급해두지.
But Ishmael, I quite like they used the word trust in your speech, so I believe that you deserve at least a brief explanation.
나는 황금가지를 직접 회수해서도 직접적인 도움을 제공해서도 안 된다. 오로지 여기 있는 관리자
I am
그리고
not
너희
supposed to
수감자들에게
retrieve the golden bows
맡겨야만 하지.
myself, nor am I allowed to provide you with any direct support. The contract stipulates that I must leave everything to the manager and the center.
왜 그런 계약을?
Why the hell would you sign a contract like that? Sorry, my brain was fried. It's always just meaningless to ask me why. Contracts are rarely ever fully understood by those that are not a part of it. But they don't even know their own fucking contract. What I can tell you is that when I ask you sinners to leave the bus for a mission, I suppose, in a way, I say it with a lighter heart than I used to.
모든 것을 얻어내겠다는 욕심으로 무리하게 계약을 지키려다 관리자가 돌이킬 수 없는 지경으로 가게 되어 다 잃지는 않을까 하는 고민은 들었지.
I am no longer concerned that in my desire to fulfill the conditions for every clause in my contract, the manager might be irreversibly hurt. I would be left with nothing if such a thing were to happen. He just admitted to trusting us more than he used to.
단테, 그런 말은 굳이 한 번 더 물어보지 않는 편이 좋아.
Don't make him repeat something like that, Tante.
특히 누군가 속마음을 어렵게 겨우 표현했을 때는.
Especially when someone went to trouble of expressing their true hidden feelings.
그리고
Besides,
잠깐만.
well, wait.
이대로 내릴 수는 없어.
I am not going in there like this. Heathcliff, please stop changing the subject.
안 되겠어. 다시 돌아가자. 유턴하면 되잖아.
Nope, can't do this. Oi, turn the bus around.
내 피에는 유턴 없어.
Effie doesn't do U-turns, which is why it sucks in Pokemon Showdown.
이런 꼴로 어떻게 다시 저택에 돌아가라는 거야?
Bollocks, I ain't going back to that manor in these wrinkly rags. Bollocks. Oh yeah, alright. Oh yeah, right. Every one of our elaborate plans to dress up in fancy clothes fell through. Hey, you don't look that bad.
이런 꼬라지로 가면
Heathcliff.
또다시 그 새끼들이.
If I go in these rags, those bastards
그
will.
새끼들이 누군데요?
Those bastards. Who are they?
있어.
Bastards that'll always eye me up and down, trying to find a speck of dust, a single flaw, something to latch onto, just to humiliate me,
눈깔 파내버려.
then gouge out their eyes. Ryoshu, I agree.
오, 재치 있는
Violence is
발상.
always the answer. Oh, that would be quite the clever solution. What are you even? Looks like Heathcliff is the only one who's taking this seriously. The hell is wrong with the pair? Quit giggling like that. They're about to cut his hair.
그럴 줄 알고 우리가 준비를 미리 해왔죠.
Good thing we came prepared for this occasion.
아무리 생각해도 우리 히스가 혼자서 멀끔하게 꾸미긴 힘들 것 같아서.
I just couldn't imagine Heathcliff pulling off his makeover on his own.
꽤 전에 로자님과 함께 둥지로 돌아오기 전 뒷골목에서 잠깐 쇼핑을 하다 왔답니다.
Roddy and I did some shopping in the back streets before we entered the nest.
둥지 안에는 뒷골목보다 대단한 게 있을지도 모르니 기다려봤는데 뭐 살만한 것이 없으니까 아쉬운 대로 사둔 걸 써야지.
We were waiting to reveal these just in case there was anything more impressive in the nest. But thanks to the disappointing lack of anything even remotely interesting, we'll just make do with what we picked up earlier.
뭐 설마 전에 둘이 어디 갔다 온다 했을 때 아니 근데 그때 과자만 한 바구니 사왔길래.
Wait a bloody second. When the two of you went off on your own? No, all you brought back was a whole basket of cookies, wasn't it?
과자들은 눈속임이었어, 히스. 물론 그중 몇 개는 내 일용할 양식으로 잘 써먹었지만.
Those cookies were decoy cookies, Heath. Though some of them did end up as part of my daily sustenance, of course. Hey.
비록 제가 집에서 썼던
Well, I
브랜드들까지
couldn't
찾지는
find the particular
못했지만
brands I used to at
이만해도
home.
어느 정도의 멋부림은 낼 수
It
있을
should be
거예요.
more than enough for a proper fashion makeover.
베르, 훈훈한 분위기 이어가게 이번만 눈 좀 감아줘. 응? 유니폼 말이야.
Come on. Can't we just keep things nice and happy for once? Let him wear something else other than his uniform. Just for today. I mean, y'all already butchered your uniforms individually, so who cares?
회사 유니폼을 입고 오랜만에
Like,
애인을
no one
제의하고 싶은
wants to
사람이
meet
어디
their old
있겠어.
flame wearing their work
그치?
clothes, right?
그래도 저 길잡이가 용케도 허락을 해주게.
Well, I doubt the guy will ever let anything like that slide.
그러지.
Fine.
뭐?
What?
또 멋대로 작당해서 뒷문을 들락거리는 건 피하고 싶으니.
I'd prefer it if we didn't have to encourage another rogue incident with the back door.
정말이야? 길잡이!
Seriously, guide. Heathcliff trembled like he was about to give Virgilus a big hug.
자, 히스클리프 씨, 이제 눈을 감고
Now, Heathcliff, close your eyes.
무릉도원이라 생각하면서 편안하게 몸과 마음을 맡기세요.
Relax and let us take care of everything. Pretend you're the proverbial peach blossom spring. I don't know. Are they about to give him a happy ending?
잠깐, 머리 함부로 그렇게.
Wait, don't touch my hair like. Does Heathcliff bathe?
오,
No.
솜씨가 보통이 아닌데.
Happy ending indeed. Boy, you ain't half bad. Why are there noises?
히스클리프 씨는
Guys,
지금 단장 중이랍니다.
Heathcliff's getting a makeover. Sometime later. What the fuck? Ahem. Who are you?
그 머리에 너무 바른 거 아니야?
I think you might have overdone it with the hair.
안 돼. 홍루가 얼마나 공들여서 손질해줬는데 그렇게 만지면.
Don't touch it. Do you even have any idea how hard Hong Lu worked on that? Hong Lu coming through.
들고 있던 몽둥이는 어디
Where does
갔죠?
that go?
몇 년 만에 재회인데 몽둥이를 들고 만날 순 없잖아.
It's the reunion of the century. We can't possibly let him go say hello to his old flame with a big British club in his hand.
히스클리프 군이 왠지 친절해 보이는 것 같소. 이를테면 아이스크림을 사달라고 하면 바로 사줄 것 같은 느낌이랄까?
Why Heathcliff? Sir Heathcliff appeareth a tad more merciful than usual. Mayhap he shall accept my request, should I implore him to purchase me a pint of ice cream.
그리고 시끄럽게 해도 때리지 않으실 것 같아요.
And you know our look like he's on the verge of punching me when I make the smallest noises. Bro.
야, 부탁하건대. 캐서린 앞에서 그런 말을 꺼내기라도 하면.
Lad, please don't bring up anything even remotely like that in front of Catherine.
옷이 날개군. 재회 후기를 기대하고 있겠어.
Virgilus is headed onto drama. Well, I'll be. Clothes really do make the man. Do let me know how this reunion goes. I'll be looking forward to hearing that tale.
그래.
Sure. Go Heathcliff. I've been meaning to ask this question for a while. I wanted to know the answer, but I couldn't bring myself to ask him. Why'd you leave Wuthering Heights? It's where the love of your life lives, isn't it? Heathcliff, who'd been busily moving about and preparing to leave the bus, suddenly comes to a halt.
뭐든 괜찮았어. 때리는 것도 굽는 것도 하찮은 취급을 받으며 부려먹어지는 것도.
I didn't mind it. The thrashings, the starvings, the abuse, them treating me like a servant, like I'm something beneath them.
들러리 불순물 취급을
I didn't
받으면서
mind
사는
being
것도
treated like I'm nothing
참을
more
수
than an
있었지.
afterthought, like I'm some impure trash to be discarded.
하지만 캐서린 입에서
But when I heard what
그 말이
Catherine
나와서
said,
내가 저택에 있어야 할 이유는 그 순간 사라졌어.
I realized I no longer had any reason to remain in that manner. Heathcliff did not elaborate further. She rejected his ass. Perhaps it wasn't that he didn't, but that he couldn't bring himself to. I didn't dare ask him what he was about to say, so I simply nodded in response. I see.
카론이 히스 바뀐 모습을 보고 할 말이 있나 본데?
Oh, looks like Karen's got something to say about your new fit.
있어.
중대 발표할 거야.
Karen has something to say, something big.
좋아 좋아. 자, 한마디 소감
Great.
부탁드립니다.
Awesome. Now, Karen, what do you think?
카로는 버터 싫어. 느끼하단 말이야.
Looks oily and greasy. Karen doesn't like grease. So. This is why Karen dies in the next Canto.
아, 이게 아닌데.
Oh, this isn't going how I thought. Karen's words must have hit him hard. It took quite a bit of convincing for Heathcliff, who was severely discouraged by Karen's remark to exit the bus. We're beating her to that bus tomorrow, that's why she dies. Wow, this... They really don't want me to go in there. Well, fuck. The front gate. The gate. The yacht.
이거 불편하네.
This is uncomfortable.
걸을 때마다 옷이 꽉 죄어오는 느낌이야.
Boy, is it normal for these clothes to squeeze harder with every step I take.
기품이라는 건 원래 그런 것이랍니다. 익숙해진다면 오히려 다른 옷을 입을 때 허전해지곤 하죠.
This is what it means to maintain an air of dignity. Once you get used to that feeling, you'll feel like you're missing something whenever you're dressed casually.
히스클리프군. 이게 자네가 살던 곳의 대문인가?
This must be the front gate of the former place we go. The massive gate alone feels downright intimidating. That's one big front door.
몇 지역에서는 대문의 크기로 신분을 드러내곤 한다. 이 정도 크기라면 상당한 재력가라고 볼 수 있다.
It is known that in certain regions of the city, the size of the front gate is an indicator of one's social standing. The magnitude of this front gate indicates that the owner of this home is very affluent. We already knew that.
이런 곳에 살았으면서 홍루 씨를 부자라고 그렇게 못 살게 굴었던 건가요? 히스클리프?
I don't think he was the inheritor of that fortune like Hong Lu. Heathcliff, you picked on Hong Lu for being a rich kid when you were raised in some huge mansion yourself.
저는 아무렇지도 않답니다.
I don't mind it at all.
나는 갑자기 배신감까지 느껴지는데.
I'm feeling a bit betrayed, actually.
히스클리프군. 그대가 굉장히 낯설어 보이네만.
Sir Heathcliff, thou appeareth quite different today.
헛소리는 집어치워.
Keep your stupid comments to yourselves. Some were teasing him, and others were generally surprised. But it didn't matter to Heathcliff. Every word he spat out was dripping with venomous spite.
부자는 내가 아니야.
I wasn't even remotely close to being rich.
난 이 저택에 있었던 단 한순간도 풍요로웠던 적이 없었어.
I was never once rich in this manner. I wasn't even allowed to be content, not even for a moment.
그리고 이 저택도 단 한순간조차 날 받아들이지.
And this manner never accepted me, not even for a... What? Did he get struck by lightning?
뭐야 이건?
What in the hell? Even the lightning doesn't like...
낙뢰다. 후방에 있는 숲 근방에 떨어진 것으로 보인다.
A lightning strike. It seems to have struck an area near the forest. That was so loud.
사람이 번개를 맞을 확률은 굉장히 희박하다고 했어요.
Sinclair, you've heard wrong. It's okay. I heard it's extremely rare for lightning to actually hit people.
가만 보면 번개는 불꽃놀이와도 닮아 있는 것 같소.
A momentary musing reveals that a strike of lightning brings about a sensation that is not unlike the joy of fire. Are you fucking...
텅 비어있던 밤하늘을 순간의 섬광으로 가득 채워주고 사라지지 않는가?
It fills the dark and cold void of the night sky with its incandescent brightness, even for a brief moment before fading away into oblivion, along with you.
그 대신 자기가 가진 모든 걸 내보내서 모든 걸 불태워버리지.
Right, and in exchange loses everything it has, burning and leaving nothing but ash behind.
노예가 아니야.
What joy is there to be found? I could hear some forest critters fleeing, spooked by the thunderstorm.
저것 보시게! 조그만
Behold, the tiny squirrel over yonder.
우와, 집 근처의 숲이라니. 자연 친화적인 곳에 살고 계셨군요. 동물원을 따로 만들 필요가 없겠어요.
Whoa, such nature so close to home. I didn't know you used to live in such an eco-friendly place. I suppose I wouldn't have to go through the trouble of building a private zoo if I lived in a place like this. What the
도시에서
fuck?
정원이나 숲을 가진다는 것은 이러니 저러니 해도 엄청난 재력가라는 것은 틀림없지.
Have a garden or a forest near their home, even if it were to ignore everything else. That alone indicates its owner was somebody of unimaginable affluence.
그렇네. 싱클레어네 집도 그러긴 했지.
Right. I remember Sinclair's home was in the middle of a forest, drudging up his PTSD.
다람쥐도 있고 뭐 몇몇 짐승들도 심심찮게 볼 수 있었지.
Squirrels, sure. There were other animals roaming about too.
아주 가끔 가다가 기분이 걷잡을 수 없이 안 좋아져서 숲에 계속 처박혀 있을 때도 있었는데.
Sometimes, when I was so miserable I could hardly bear even being in that mansion, I'd go to the forest and not return for a long, long time.
그럴 때마다 이 다람쥐군이 적잖은 친구가 되어주었겠어.
Well, then this tiny forest friend, like Sir Squirrel, must have been quite a jolly companion for thee. Wow. I think they also would have been hit if they had been. What? How did the light? I am failing to understand the physics of the situation. How the lightning is hitting the squirrel that is closer to the ground than they are. What the fuck? Is this? Are they just that non-conductive? Or do they have resist? Are they that resistant to electrical current? And is the squirrel just that fucking conductive? Little sore squirrel. The little squirrel that may have once been Heathcliff's tiny forest friend. It was not. Was immediately scorched down to a pile of ash the moment it crossed over the manor's front gate.
번개가 보통 저런 식으로 치나? 휘어지기도 하고?
That was a weird lightning strike. It just curved midair, just like my dick.
일반적인 상황에서 벌어지기에는 지극히 낮은 확률이군요.
The chance of such an occurrence is extraordinary, though.
내 과민 반응일 수도 있겠지만 아무리 봐도 번개가 정확히 저 다람쥐를 향해 치는 것 같았거든.
It might feel that I'm overreacting, but it looks like as though that lightning was curving itself to strike exactly where that squirrel was standing.
이런 위험천만한 곳에서 용케 살아남으셨네요, 히스클리프 씨.
Whoa, Heathcliff, I have no idea you grew up in such a dangerous place. I'm impressed you even survived.
아니야, 미친. 나도 이런 벼락은
No, blimey. I've never seen anything like it. Alright, Heathcliff, ready to knock on the front gate?
문을.
The front gate. You stared blankly at the front gate of the manor.
문을 두들기는 거 오랜만이네.
I've not knocked on this gate in a good many years.
한 번은 아무도 열어주지 않길래 몰래 저택에서 빠져나온 캐서린이 문을 열어줬어.
I once had to wait out here for hours because they all refused to let me in. Everyone except Catherine. She snuck out of the manor to open it for me.
길을 맞아가면서.
Walking through the heavy rain.
그럼 지금도 마찬가지겠죠.
Well then, I'm sure it won't be any different this time.
이 문을 두들기면
So if I knock, Catherine will come out to let me in. Up. Heathcliff takes a deep breath before knocking on the front door.
정말로 이렇게 될 줄은 몰랐는데요.
No, that's not what I meant.
담을 넘어갈까요? 높이를 보아하니까
That's not what I
발목
meant when I
접질러질
said it
각오만
wouldn't be
되어
different
있다면
this time. Oh, we can try climbing over the fence. I think we can clear the height as long as we're okay with breaking our ankles and being shocked by lightning. No. That's a whole bunch. Like saying I'm ready to knock on the front gate. But perhaps it perceives the light reverted Heathcliff's usual angry self.
여기는 내가 초대받은 저택이야. 담을 넘어간다면 아무 의미가 없어지는 거라고.
I was invited to his banner. This invitation would be meaningless if I leap over the fence.
캐서린! 내가 왔어!
Catherine, I'm back.
한 번 무시당했는데 다시 so리친다고.
They ignored you once. They continue to shout once after it. Despite his efforts, not even a single soul beyond the front gate. None of us believed that anyone would come out to greet him. But half the third. The front gate began to creak open as though someone was answering his pleas.
꾸민 보람이 있었죠?
Makeover was worth it. No. The heavy rain and tempest only grew harsher as closer got to the man.
대문을 넘었는데도 사람은 코빼기도 보이지 않는군.
Though we had long made it past the front gate, not a soul docked here. The goblin resent no sinners when the prince embarked the bus had all disappeared. Silent air of apprehension surrounding them as they gingerly took hesitant steps towards the man.
캐시, 잘 지냈어? 아니야. 캐서린, 오랜만이야. 아니야 이것도.
After it, want to fuck? In the midst of this aura of unease, only Heathcliff seemed to be preoccupied by something else. The rest of the singers were talking about shit. Did you catch that?
새였다. 정확히는
A bird,
참새의
a
일종이었다.
subspecies of sparrows to be exact.
창문을 지났는데도 이 공격적인 낭류는 계속되는군.
Lightning continues to strike aggressively even this far past the front gate.
조금만 가까이 있었으면 저희도 같은 신세였을 거예요.
We would have been Bertram his pad had struck even closer. Lightning continues to blast from the earth, as though it wouldn't be satisfied until it's reduced every living thing in the land ground to a pile of ash.
빨리 걷자니 벼락 맞을 것 같고 천천히 걷자니 또 벼락을 맞을 것 같고.
And I hit up its rock faster. Or maybe it hits things that are moving too slowly. Maybe we should speed up. I don't know.
이동 속도와는 관련이 없는 것 같다. 마치 벼락 자체가 의지를 가지고 목표를 맞추려는 것처럼 보이니. 의지를 가진 번개라.
Oh, it seems
재수없는 것이
irrelevant.
떠오르는군.
Instead, it's almost as if lightning has a will of its own, striking with intent. This brings back some unpleasant memories.
아, 어쩌면 이 집의 방어 시스템은 아닐까요?
Oh, maybe it's like this house's defense system.
방어, 보안 장치를 말하는 것이요.
Defense system. You imply this may be part of the manor's security measures.
허가받지 않고 이 저택 안에 들어오는 것한테만 번개가 내리치는 걸 수도요.
Maybe it only targets things that enter the manor ground without permission.
이것보다 더 정교하고 확실한 장치도 많았거든요.
Seems security measures are more precise and more conclusive than this.
크기가 커다란 저택일수록 더 효과적인 보안 장치들을 설치하곤 하니까요.
Large manors often do install more effective security systems, that's all.
아, 저희 집에서도 보안 장치에 대한 이야기가 저녁 식사 이야기거리로 올라오곤 했던 것 같아요.
Well, I think our family talked about some defense system in our home. It was one of those topics that keep coming back during dinner.
말이 안 되는 건 아니네요. 그렇다고 이런 사고방식이 이해된다는 건 아니지만.
That makes sense. Now then, I understand this helpless family system.
LCCB 팀이 접근하지 못했다던 보안 체계란 것이 혹여
There is security system that protecting the mayor, Katie.
네. 하지만 저희는 초대장이 있잖아요. 안심하고 걸어도 될 것 같다는 소리예요.
Yeah, but we have the investigation with us. I think we'll be just fine. What? Yeah. It is one of the normal security measures which very rich family has.
하지만 조금 신기하긴 하네요. 날씨를 조정하는 시스템은 비효율적일 정도로 어마어마한 금액이 들어간다고 해서 직접 본 적은 없었거든요.
It's very interesting though. I heard that technology to change weather itself is really, really expensive. The point of it being inefficient. Why? It's so expensive I've never seen it myself. I remained silent. I didn't want to concern the synergy, something I wasn't sure about. The closer we got to the matter, the more confident I became of something. This was extremely abnormal weather isn't good for our home security. It absolutely has something to do with the golden bowl. But the golden bowl feels different than the ones we encountered before. Bit more, they are.
이 꽃은
These flowers.
색깔이 있네요.
They're black color. They're there. When I heard the garden was like a color, it was like literally a flower, and the only thing inside is color of your outside.
이 꽃 이름이 뭘까요?
I don't know what these flowers are called.
혹시 말이야, 돈을 지불한다면 꽃에도 색을 되찾게 할 수 있는 건가?
I guess it's gonna return the color of these flowers that you call puffed enough cat.
그렇습니다.
그렇다는 것은 이 집안의 인물은 꽃을 무척이나 사랑했던 것이겠구려.
Prior to this match, must have particular love for these flowers.
곧 시들어버릴 꽃에도 색을 넣을 정도라니.
Or to return the color of such transient thing as flowers.
혹은 어마어마한 갑부이거나.
Or perhaps it may simply be that those communities affluent. If the quietly gaze at the patches of violet flowers, he sang it was all out.
틀렸어. 꽃을 무척이나 사랑했던 것은 아니었을 거야.
Well, no, pick fellow for his flower.
그 마음이 꽃까지 들어갈 정도로 넓고 따뜻하진 않았으니까.
There was no warmth in their hearts there. The mere flowers. It was so thoughtful. But how it was take balls to the world was not putting past me for a Now toast one of the flowers.
아이고, 어서 오세요.
Hi. Please come this way. Someone hurriedly runs this way. My man's front door holding a lantern.
날씨가 참 말썽이죠. 하긴 티사는 워더링 하이츠는 화창한 적이 드물지만요.
What an awful weather. Well, to quote this, the Wuthering Heights matter is rarely ever sunny. Theirs is quite the storm.
오랜만이야, 넬리.
Long time no see, Nelly.
세상에 히스클리프? 정말 너구나.
My word, Heathcliff. Is that you? It really is you. Yeah.
네가 그렇게 떠난 후에 어떻게 살았는지 정말. 아휴, 밥은 제대로 먹고 다니는지, 어디서 맞고 다니진 않는지.
Not the slightest idea how worried I was since you left. Have you been eating well? You've not been bullied by rough cow, have you? Bullied by what?
우리가 그동안 소식을 얼마나 궁금해했는데.
We wanted to hear from you for so long.
자, 들어와.
You come in now. Come in. Miss Nelly regarded us with a curious look. Oh, she doesn't quite understand what we were supposed to be.
설마 여러분은
I'm reasonable to presume.
우리 히스클리프의 친구분들인가요?
Would you be our dear Heathcliff's friends?
네, 뭐
Yeah, well, they are.
친구 해도 되는 건가요?
Friends, are we?
친구의 범위를 어디까지로 인식하고 있을지에 따라 답변이 다르다.
The answer to that question hinges on the range of affinity one would define as delineation that separates friends from acquaintances.
그럼 죽을 뻔한 모험을 몇 번이나 겪은 소중한 친구들이지.
Of course we're friends. Precious friendship forged in fire. Multiple fires, actually.
히스클리프의
Some
소중한
literal
친구들.
fires.
곧 있으면 비에 쫄딱 맞아서 얼어 죽을지도 모르겠군.
Your dear Heathcliff's precious friends are about to freeze to their deaths in the rain, woman.
귀한 분들이 오셨네요. 아이고, 내 정신 좀 봐. 얼른 들어오세요, 얼른. 저택은 따뜻할 거예요.
Ah, what honorable guests. I welcome you to this place today. I must be all over the place to leave you all standing in the rain. Now come in, come in. It's a tad warmer in here than it is outside. The interiors of Wuthering Heights are rather dark.
정말
Yet,
저택 안에는
this
색이
banner
있어.
doth have color. Its hue appears a tad fainted from its original vibrancy, but there was color in this manner.
말했잖아. 저택에서는 색이 보였다고.
What I tell you, I can see color inside this manner.
이것도 뭐 돈을 내서 가져온 거지만.
Let's all borrow my money anyway.
저택에 걸린 이 랜턴들이 있으면 색을 돌려받을 수 있다던가.
Believe it or not, there's something that about these lanterns that bring about the manner that brings back colors.
본래의 색을 밝혀주는 랜턴이구려. 꽤 값진 기구일 텐데.
Ah, the lanterns that return the object's original saturation. These are quite the expensive luxuries, are they not?
그래도 완전한 색을 돌려받지 못해. 어딘가 칙칙하지.
It still doesn't bring back all the colors. Things still remain a tad gloomy.
그런데 캐시는 어디?
So where's Kathy?
히스클리프, 지금까지 어떻게 지낸 거야? 응? 잠은 어디서 자고? 밥은 잘 먹고 다닌 거 맞아?
NPC,
좀
future
야운 거
dead
같은데.
NPC number 1. Heathcliff. Please tell me of your life since you left us. Where have you been staying? Have you been eating well? My, have you lost weight?
나는
그래도 너무 늦지 않아서 다행이야. 다들 널 기다리고 있었거든.
I'm glad your delay wasn't too substantial. We have all been waiting for your arrival.
다들?
We.
그러고 보니 옷차림이 못 본 사이에 달라지고 아주 멀끔한 신사가 됐네? 친구들도 많이 생겼고.
Now let me get a better look at you. The refined dress, clothes, the hair. My, you've grown into a right proper gentleman, haven't you? Quite the popular lad you are with a posse of friends and all.
뭐...
Well, did I?
그럼 멀리서
Of
보면
course.
하나도 못 알아보겠다.
I would not have recognized you from a distance. Nellie was talking so fast that Heathcliff wasn't spared even a second to get a single word.
넬리라고 했나?
Nellie was it.
정확히 어떤 사이지?
Was your
우린
process
그의
relation to
소중한
Heathcliff?
친구이자 동료이며
As his precious
전우들이라.
friend, colleague, and
어떤
comrade in arms,
사이인지가
I
무척이나
cannot help but be curious how the two of you would know each other. Otis was conspicuously scanning the interior of the manor, suddenly asked Nellie the most transparent and suspicious question I've ever heard.
아, 나는 말이지. 히스클리프의 이를테면
Let's see. Heathcliff, how should I put this? Doms.
보모라고 해야 했나?
Nanny, I suppose.
보모요?
Nanny.
코 흘리고 있으면 닦아주고 옷 갈아입혀주고 하는 보모요?
What? Like,
Heathcliff
you wipe
씨?
Heathcliff's snot, change his baby clothes, and am I thinking the right nanny?
밥을 먹기 거부할 때는 밥을 떠먹여주기도 하고요.
And when the baby's fussy about the food, nanny spoon feed it to them.
아이 넬리, 그런 식으로 소개하지 마.
Why, Nellie, quit teasing me like that?
보모라고 하기에는 조금 달랐잖아.
You weren't exactly my nanny, and you know.
우린 어렸을 때부터 서로를 알고 지냈어.
Indeed. Let me think for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. We've known each other since we were both young.
그리고 난 넬리를 하인처럼 부리거나
I did not treat her like a
고모처럼 따르진
servant or
않았거든.
follow her around like she was my nanny.
그리고 지금은 엄연히 치프 버틀러라고. 내 말 한마디에 군기가 바짝 드는 버틀러들이 얼마나 많은데.
Mind you, I'm now the chief butler of the house. You must see the other butlers moving around like soldiers when I give a word.
뭐 네가 제일 일을 빠릿하게 잘했으니까.
Well, you are the best at your job.
그런데 나 슬슬 인내심이
Now,
금방이라도
I'm getting
끊어질
quite
것 같아서
impatient,
말이야.
so I've got to ask.
넬리,
When do I get to see Catherine? Heathcliff must have wanted so bad to ask where Kathy was.
연애는 언제 시작이야?
So, when's the banquet starting? Instead, he hid this true question behind a mask of aloofness. But... Now, his expression became somewhat odd upon hearing Heathcliff's query.
연회는...
The banquet already happened.
어이, 그 막내네 새끼 오긴 하는 거야 뭐야?
Alright, when is that witless brigand coming? Is he even on his way?
사람을 불러 모아놓고
You
사라지면
can't
어쩌자는
just
거지?
leave after gathering us all down here. If I have to sit any second longer next to these mugs, I'm gonna lose it. There was a furious voice echoing down the halls.
넬리, 잠깐.
Nelly, wait, I recognize that voice.
아이 참, 안 그래도 막 왔어요.
My, don't rush. He just arrived, mind you.
히스클리프 들어가자.
Let's join the
모두가
others,
널 기다리고
Heathcliff.
있다고 했잖아.
Like I said, we've all been waiting for your arrival. Heathcliff bit his lip anxiously and followed Nelly.
파티를 하는 듯한 분위기는 확실히 아닌 것 같은데.
This doesn't feel like a man that's about to throw a party. He's going to a cult meeting.
네. 그때 크루즈 파티나
Yeah, that
이곳에서
cruise ship party. This manner.
아무리 감추려고 해도 말이죠.
You can't hide the rising sense of dread
공간에서부터
in
나오는
places like
음침한
this.
분위기는
The bodies are floating.
숨길 수가
Doesn't matter
없더라고요.
how hard you try. I can show you how hard I can try, bitch.
평소에도
The manor
활기찼던
does not
저택은
appear to have been a
아닌데
place where liveliness is an expected element.
청소를 급하게 했지만
I can see signs
오로지
of rush
손님
cleaning
맞이를 위한 용도일 뿐
conducted immediately before the guests
곳곳에
arrive.
균열이 있고
Several cracks and
보수가
areas in
필요한
need of
부분이
repair have been
보인다.
identified as well.
또한
Also,
즐거운 파티를 기대했던 건 아니지만
I was scant expressing a raucous party. Yet this is quite a depressing presentation. I followed Don Quixote to the halls. She appeared terribly disappointed. What is 48 divided by 3? It's 16. Oh fuck. We'll see how much we can get done tonight. I mean, this is just part 1. Oh, that's obviously illegal. That lion twat. No. Where is it? Hilarious. This cowboy hat completely covers my face. Not as much as I would cover, which ones do I like? Ryoshi's face with my fluids. Enter. Finally, time for some more combat.
내 명을 들은 시비수 결집이다.
Two people sat by a dying hearth, surrounded by their respective posse. It was quite apparent from the way they sat opposite of one another that their relationship was far from amicable. What the fuck? There's dead rabbits and I don't know. On one end was a group of people dressed in mysterious masks, surrounded by a jumpy-looking man who looked like he was one nudge away from howling and foul insults at everyone. And on the other end was a group of people dressed in identical uniforms. Sinclair told me they were wearing the outfits that most manor employees wear to each other. One of them stood out, as he was the one among them in a black suit. He appeared somewhat uncomfortable, as it seemed like though he was in a great deal of pain just by merely being there. In between the two groups were
해결사들이요. 저 복장은 분명 외우피 협회에서 온 자들.
fixers. I recognized their outfits. For suit, they must be fixers from the OOFE Association.
외우피 협회는 보통 중요한 일이 아니면 뺏기도 힘든 분들인데 어찌 이런 곳에?
Oh, Donkey, calm down. Calm down, Donkey. Oh, it's quite rare to get to see a siren of a single Wolfie fixer. They require quite the momentous occasion to even grace us with their presence. Up, but we'll have time to ask for autographs later. Alright. I had to coax Don Quixote, who was practically quivering for immediately running to them for signatures, because we had unintentionally become the center of attention from the entire room. The center of a very negative attention.
맙소사, 기어코 그가 돌아오고 말았어요. 워더링 하이츠의 수치인 그 망할 자식이.
By gum, that vagabond's ass returned. The bloody shame of Wuthering Heights.
여전하네, 조셉.
Same old Josephine, huh?
뻔뻔하게 들어오는 꼬락서니 좀 보라지. 우리 마님이 보신다면 얼마나 기겁하실까.
Look at him, strutting about like he owns this place. If our mistress were to witness this travesty.
어우, 조세핀 그만 좀 해.
Gosh, Josephine, that is quite enough.
신경 쓰지 마, 히스클리프.
Don't mind her, Heathcliff.
이 광경을 보시면 뒤집어지실 거야. 이 신성한 워더링 하이츠를 불황자들이 점령하고 있다니.
Oh my
기가
gosh.
찰 노릇이지. 아무렴.
This blessed land of Wuthering Heights, reduced to an asylum for vagrants and drifters. Yet the mistress has been here to witness this tragic, deplorable state of affairs. There was an old woman in the room, who was muttering some choice words while staring at us with eyes full of hatred.
역시 망나니 자식답게 제일 늦게 기어 들어오시는구만. 무슨 자신감으로 이곳을?
The witness bringing returns, and quite delayed at that. How dare you show your face?
조용히 하십시오, 힌들리.
Hindley, please exercise some restraint.
히스클리프, 정말 돌아올 줄은 몰랐는데.
Heathcliff, I hardly did expect your return.
캐서린을 잊지 못한 건가? 아직도?
You have yet to let Catherine go still. It was clear the two of them had been acquainted with Heathcliff for a while, but the nature of the acquaintance was more of a long-standing hatred stemming from the deep history of contention they shared. They're all going to play a game to decide who gets Catherine. One of the two is hardly hiding his hatred, allowing to fully seize control of his words and actions, but the other's hatred had sunken deep into his heart, boiling and writhing underneath, like a lobster in a pot.
내가 뭐 성대한 환영 같은 걸 기대하고 이 저택에 돌아온 건 아니지만
Right. I wasn't exactly expecting a grand welcome upon my return.
적어도 너희들 면상이나 보려고 온 건 아니야. 그 말대로 난 알맹이는 변하지 않았거든.
But I ain't here to see your ugly mugs. It's like you always said, my base nature is just incapable of change. Heathcliff shoots back with just as much vitriol, as though he was always used to this kind of scorn and humiliation. The man in black suit turns away, as though it would degrade him to even entertain with an answer. But the man they called Handley, he was a dumbass.
이 빌어먹을 자식아! 짐승만도 못할 새끼가!
You unscrupulous shite, you bloody animal. No, a thing lesser than a savage beast. Jumped up from his seat, his face turning bright red from anger.
또 어디서 이놈이랑 똑같은 것들을 데리고 왔어? 뭐라도 쑤셔볼 심산인가 본데.
By the looks of it, you found yourself a band of vagrants and vagabonds just like you, eh? Crawling back to see if there's something worth pilfering from this place.
어이 너네! 이 자식 정신 좀 차리게 두들겨 패라. 어디 한쪽을 부러뜨리기라도 하면 더 좋고.
You lot, beat his arse and teach him a lesson. Break a bone or two.
명령.
No orders from boss.
잔말 말고 해! 그 보스라는 놈과 너희들을 고용한 건 나야!
Shut it, I'm your boss's boss. I hired you and the rest of you. Him and the rest of you.
그래봤자
I don't
어디서
expect those
굴러들어온
bone-headed fools to give you much
개뼈다구보다
trouble
못한
anyway.
놈들을.
뼈? 저자가 무엇 하는 것이오?
Head of bone? What on earth is that fellow speaking of?
그냥 신나게 두들겨 맞고 싶다는 소리죠. 뭐 그렇게 원하신다면요.
He's just expressing his explicit desire to get his ass beat. Well, since he asked for it. Beat his ass. Beat it. Beat it harder than I would clap.
비록 함께 전장에 나서는
There'd
건
be more
아니지만
clapping than
저희를
performance
이끌어주는
than
건
after a performance of
단테님만 할 수 있는
Lin-Manuel
일이에요.
Miranda's Hamilton.
이번에도 분명 원하시는 길로 저희를 잘 이끌어 주시겠죠?
명령에 따르겠습니다.
무상한 목숨. 불끄득 지원일 뿐.
친히 목을 떨궈주마. 하려 추진.
각자의 위치가 있어.
다들
모든 것에
첫
견뎠어.
여정을 시작했을 때보다 정말 강해지셨네요. 매일 보아왔는데도 지금은 감회가 새로워요.
Alright, we gotta get through these goons so we can get to go. No.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버려.
사망. 진수 진행 불가.
이 풍진 세상에서 힘껏 살아가느라 수고 많으셨어요. 이제 모든 짐 놓으셨으니 그 끝에 고요한 휴식이 있기를.
Fucking Twitter. Did it. Why is my tweet about going to label getting more attention than my tweet about only one impression? Did I get myself blacklisted accidentally by tweeting about going to whatever? I do not care, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. I do as I please, and I will be gooning it to label sometime
여기서 이런 공격이
eventually.
잘 먹히는 거예요?
Believe it.
오야. 길을 열어라.
That beautiful big titty goth is way too much to resist. I'm sorry. No, I'm
이 정도
not.
탕류의 허덕이나. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
You won't have to worry about being stinky no more because I liquor clean.
저희에게도 이런 힘을 베풀어 주시다니 마음씨가 넓은 분이실까요? 아, 실수로 주셨더라도 상관없어요. 한번 베푼 이상
시간 끌 것 없이
바람이
들어오는데요.
모조리 지워버려.
Alright, I almost got myself in trouble there. Accidentally left my speakers on.
경외감 속에 숨어
튀울 수도 없겠구나.
진비경.
목을 떨궈주마. 넌 푸름을
시선에
튀울 수도
눈이
없겠구나.
멀지 않도록.
이 풍진 세상에서 힘껏 살아가느라 수고 많으셨어요. 이제 모든 짐 놓으셨으니 그 끝에 고요한 휴식이 있기를.
Friend, you're about to die.
해보겠네.
He ensures to accidentally turn his speakers on in the middle of the night like a complete donut. Not middle, it's indeterminate time in North America.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
In between, what would it be? What time is it? 9:30 and 12:30. He's left.
좋아.
Good.
이제 살을 발라
Bones from your
뼈다구.
flesh.
너
You personally introduce you to your own skull. Jesus fucking. Real shoot. You are my kind of woman. That is unbelievably hot. Lads. I also play lads. The casual yet powerful voice booms across the hall, immediately breaking the tension in the room.
잠깐 물 좀 마시려고 갔다 온 동안 무슨 난장판이 벌어진 거야?
I was gone for just a minute to get some water. What the hell happened here?
저택은 또 빌어먹게도 넓어서 차라리 우물에서 물을 길어오는 게 나을 뻔했네.
This one big fucking manor, eh? Would have been faster to go bucket a couple water from the well myself.
보스, 손님이
Boss, we have a guest. That's the boss.
예. 걸음걸이나 한눈에 느껴지는 기색으로 보아 전투에 꽤나 능숙한 경험이 있는 자
Otis,
같습니다.
shut. I'm not even gonna give you. I'm not even gonna bother reading
마침
that.
잘 왔다. 네 잡졸들은 영 시원찮아. 이런 시정잡배 같은 놈들한테나 얻어맞아서 주저앉고 있었다니까.
Right on time. Your lackeys are lacking. Oh. How could they let this group of no-name hooligans knock them on their asses?
자, 본때를 보여줘.
Go on. Show them the meaning of pain.
내가 아무래도 부하들 교육을 잘못 시켰나 보네.
Looks like I've got to give my men some proper demonstration. The boss confidently strode towards Heathcliff. Damn it. Gave him a playful smack on the back of his head.
마! 오랜만에 고향에 왔으면 말이야. 제일 먼저 형님한테 째깍째깍 인사를 박았어야지.
Oi, lad. Ain't the first thing you should do when you come crawling back to your neighborhood to give a quick hello to your dear old boss. Where'd you leave your manners? Huh? Yeah, I told you they're Heathcliff's old gang.
너희 뭐냐?
Your lot, wipe that stupefied look from your faces and bow before him. Come on, hurry up. Show some bloody respect. They done fucked up.
뭐야? 설마
What? No, it can't be. The man waited past both the aftermath of the brawl and the heavy tension that filled the manor like he was out on a stroll. He just walked into the middle of it all, put his hand around his arm around Heathcliff's shoulder. It was the kind of friendly gesture that only someone who's known Heathcliff a long, long time could do.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면
Halfway there to
그제야
being
알게
halfway
되겠지.
there to being halfway there to being halfway up. Boss? Matthew?
그래 임마.
Wow.
네가 조직을 얼마나 오랫동안 떠나 있었으면 그 악명 높은 미친 토끼 새끼를
Right on, you
알아보는 놈들이
muppet.
하나도 없냐?
You've been gone for so long that you don't even recognize the infamous Mad Connie.
미친 토끼 새끼?
Mad Connie.
저놈이랑 옛날부터 아는 사이였냐? 왜 미리 얘기를 안 했지?
You know that vagrant for long. Why haven't you told me so?
뭐야 뭐? 옛날에 끈끈하고 땀내 나는 이야기까지 듣고 싶어 하실 줄은 몰랐어서.
Well, I hardly imagined you'd be interested in hearing about every little friend I made back when we were just another gang rolling in sweaty, muddy streets.
형님은 왜 이놈이랑 아니
Just rolling in the
그것보다
mud,
그럼
naked, just guys, rolling together, naked, just rolling. Sometimes our dicks might slip into someone else's butt, but that's okay, because we're just guys, rolling. Boss, why are you working with this blighter? Wait, no, but
이 가면 모양
the mask,
토끼기?
those rabbit ears.
데드레비츠?
Wait, you're still with the death rabbits?
소리가 좀 많이 변했지?
What? Yeah, we changed it, tad, eh?
한쪽 어깨에 대충 두른 스카프와 외상으로 마신 맥주 한 병만 있었으면 그 망할 아담스 패밀리들 따윈 아무것도 아니었지.
Remember, lad, back in the day, all we needed to crack some Addams family eggs was some tattered scarf around one arm and bottles of beer on the other on tap.
네 별명으로 이름이 붙은
We
맥주도
even named
있었잖아.
one of the beers after you, didn't we? The pub that used to sell that beer closed the shop a few weeks
요새
ago.
흉흉한 소문 때문에 길거리에
Ain't
나다니는
got much
사람이
business
있어야
around with the
말이지.
dreadful rumor keeping everyone home nowadays.
뭐? 늑대 몰락펍이 망했다고?
What? The Wolf's Fall closed? Bloody hell.
나만 아는 이야기를 해버렸네.
Oh, I suppose I'm leaving all you out of the loop, eh?
뭐 소개를 해주자면
Well, allow me to introduce the guy.
이쪽은 옛날에 내가 몸담았던 조직의 보스.
He was the boss of the old syndicate I used to run with.
야, 동료들인가? 호련히 사라지더니만 멀끔한 회사에 취직이라도 했냐?
They all friends of yours, eh? Joined some posh, proper company after running out on us out of nowhere, did you?
뭐 어쩌다 보니.
Well, things just worked out that way.
그 아들도 많이 생겼네. 걸어다니는 시계도 생기고. 하하하, 자식. 출세했는데?
All of them are your lads and lassies are your lackeys. Blimey, got a walking timepiece with you too. You daft bastard, you certainly moved up in the world, eh? Hehehe.
우와?
Lackeys? Ishmael glared at Heathcliff with a look that could kill, but she decided to hold her silence and merely shook her head in disbelief. She probably decided it was not worth the trouble.
그런데 왜 이런 가면을 쓰고 다니게 된 거야, 형님?
So what's up with the masks, boss?
왜? 이상하냐? 유행이라는 거는 매일 바뀌는 거야. 어깨에 토끼가 그려진 스카프를 매던 시기는 지났단 거지.
This guy's gonna be a villain. Well, isn't it odd? Trends change with time, lad. Time for scarves with rabbit embroidery is long past.
그런 거야?
Yes, that's so.
내가 보기엔
It
좀
looks a bit.
당연히 아니지. 우리 데드레비츠가 어디 샌님들처럼 유행 따라갔던 허접한 조직은 아니잖아.
Of course not. Who do you think we are? We're the dead rabbits, being a bookish rabble that follows the coattails of some naff trend.
정말 한 번도 돌아온 적이 없구나.
You really not once returned to this place since you left, have you?
이 저택을 그리고 데드레비츠까지 떠나고 나서
No. When I left this manor, and eventually the dead rabbits,
적어도 성공해서 내 발로 돌아오기 전까진
I made a promise to myself that I'd not return.
다시는 어설픈 발걸음조차 하지 않겠다고 결심했거든.
Not a step closer to this place until I've made something of myself. Not until I can return as a successful man.
하긴 너는 우리랑 어울리고 있었을 때도 이곳을 혐오스러워했지.
Well, you've always hated this place, even when you were one of us.
있잖냐, 히스클리프. 우린 이제 뒷골목에서나 쏘다니던 갱단들이랑은 급이 달라졌어.
Newspaper Heathcliff. We're no longer that same lowly backstreets gang you're familiar with.
드디어 우리도 출세라는 걸 한
I
것이랄까?
suppose you've also moved up in the world.
약지 출신이었던 자가 우릴 눈여겨봤거든.
Someone from the ring who's been keeping their eyes on us plucked us right off the streets and into their fold.
되었지.
We're bigger now. We're one of their up-and-coming syndicates. Oh boy. The ring finger.
약지? 손가락 중 하나?
Yep. The ring. One of the fingers.
약지 중에서도 야수파 출신인가? 이런 시시껄렁한 동물 가면을 씌우는 건 그놈들 뿐이겠지.
Must be the foulest of the ring then. They're the only ones who outfit their underlings with those cheap tacky animal masks.
그럼 형님이
Then you're
그래 임마. 데드레비츠 최고 보스가 되셨다.
yeah, you little shite. I'm the top boss of the dead rabbits now.
형님.
Boss.
우리가 마시던 맥주가 3병이 넘어갈 때마다 중얼거리던 말이 있었어. 기억나?
Remember what you always used to say when we filled up with more than 3 bottles of beer?
썩어가는 밀로 만든 싸구려 맥주였어, 히스클리프.
What we drank were some lousy beer made from halfway rotten wheat.
기억나는 건 다음 날에 깨질 것 같은 두통과 텅 빈 주머니였지.
All I remember come the next morning was pounding headache. I pounding too. And the light feeling of our empty pockets.
형님 밑에 있는 놈들은 그 누가 됐던 간에 아무리 갓들어온 신참내기였다 하더라도
You used to tell me that it hurt like hell every time one of your own men came back to us hurt. Even the recruits.
어디서 얻어맞고 오면 자신이 맞은 것처럼 아프고 화가 난다고 했었지.
Like they hurt not just any underling, but an extension of you.
난 형님이 언젠간 정말 잘 될 거라고 생각했어.
I knew you'd make it big one day, boss.
뭐? 내가 술만 들어가면 홈 있는 말을 곧잘 짓거리곤 했지.
Well, I suppose Drunky knew how to wax poetic.
역시 매추 형님이 맞구나. 가면을 쓰고 있어서 그런지 다른 사람이 된 줄 알았어.
I knew it was you, Matthew. The mask threw me off for a moment, boss.
보고 있으니까 기가 차 죽겠군.
What a sorry sight this is.
감동적인 재회에 찬물을 끼얹게 되어서 무척이나 송구스럽습니다만.
I sincerely apologize to you two sweethearts for crashing your tearful reunion.
결국 네 놈이 길거리를 돌아다니면서 거렁뱅이 짓거리나 하면서 몇 년을 보내는 동안
But the point is, while you were wandering the streets, wasting the best years of your life on the road.
매트, 이자는 출세했다는 거지. 동시에 지금은 내 경호인이기도 하고 말이야.
Matt's made something of himself, which is why I hired him as my bodyguard. You hear me?
이놈같이 이름도 알려지지 않은 싸구려 양아치들이 모인 집단이 아니라
Not like you and your merry band of no-name second-rate hooligans. I could think of more than a few sinners who would have gone angry enough to brandish their weapons at such an insult. But they all seem to remember that responding to such insults with violence would only beget pointless turmoil. So instead, they all began sighing heavily in an attempt to vent some of their pent-up anger.
킨들리, 아직도 나를 마구 짓밟고 조롱하고 개처럼 부려먹어도 되는 그 시절 겨울인 줄로 아는 것 같은데.
Hindley, you seem to be sorely mistaken. This isn't the same winter you thrashed me, treated me like an indentured servant, and abused me like a hound.
물론 옛날엔 힌들리, 네 놈의 그 더러운 말을 내뱉는 혓바닥을 잘라버리는 상상을 수도 없이 했었지.
I won't deny I spent many days and nights imagining tearing that foul tongue from your gob.
하지만
But Heathcliff glanced briefly in our direction.
나 같은 놈도 어딘가에 속해서 여기저기 돌아다니고 다른 놈들 보면서 배워가는 게 있어서 말이야.
Even a poor sod like myself found a place to belong. We went on adventures to places you couldn't even imagine. Learned a thing or two from them.
지금은 그냥 불쌍하네.
Yeah. So I just feel bad for you. You know, this is one of the best ways to burn someone.
뭐?
네 놈은 하나도 안 변한 것 같아서.
Because you really haven't shown one bit.
그리고 너
Besides,
꼬라지가 그게 뭐냐?
the hell is
길거리를
that rag
떠돌다가
you're
기어
wearing?
들어온 건
You
내가
look
아니라
more
너
like a
같은데?
drifting vagabond than I do.
뭐? 이 건방진 놈이!
What? You insolent fool.
아까부터 욕지거리만 퍼붓고 있긴 하지만 저자
That man's been saying some pretty nasty stuff about us.
뭐라고 하고 싶은 마음조차도 들지 않는 건
Well, it doesn't even look like someone that's worth arguing with.
야, 너 일주일 동안 거울 한 번이라도 보긴 한 거냐?
Hey, did you even check yourself in the mirror in the last week?
차마 눈 뜨고는 못 봐줄 정도인데 힌들리.
I can hardly bear to look at you so down in the dumps, Hindley. Of course, we had no way to know what Hindley looked like in the past, but we could pretty easily tell that he was far from the most stable person in the world we have.
이 새끼가!
You fucking bastard.
핸들리 씨, 진정하고 소파에 앉지 그래?
Now, Master Hindley, why don't you seat yourself on the sofa and calm down?
우리 애들은 자리가 모자라는 바람에 그 푹신해 보이는 가죽 소파에도 못 앉고 있는데 말이야.
Be more considerate of our boys standing in that corner watching the whole thing go down, huh? They don't even get those comfy looking leather sofas. Angry noises. Hindley grumbled for a moment before slumping down on the sofa. And even that simple action was stumbling. Jesus.
뻔하네.
I see what happened.
술에 먹힌 거야. 그것도 어마어마하게 크고 독한 술통에.
He let the alcohol consume him, and not the other way around. Fell into a big nasty barrel with no way out.
배에서 몇 번 본 적 있어요. 그러다가 헤어나오지 못하면 그냥 호수에 빠지는 거죠. 흔적도 없이.
I've seen the same look on some sailors. Failing to pull themselves out of their habit would lead them straight into the merciless maws of the lake. Not even a trace of them would be left.
뭐? 일단은 내 고용주니까.
Well, that man's still my client.
사정이 있어서 핸들리 씨와 같이 일하는 중이야. 저자의 부탁으로 저택까지 오게 됐지.
Mr. Hindley hired me for some job, which is why I'm here at Wuthering Heights.
부탁?
Job?
애초에 이 자리는 캐서린이 주최한 연애잖아. 그런데 무슨 부탁을 할 게 있다는 건데?
Catherine's hosting this banquet, ain't she? What kind of job could possibly need a driver's help here? What?
연회?
A banquet?
시간이 지나도 변하지 않는 게 여기 하나 있네. 그 아둔하고 쓸모없는 이놈의 대가리 말이야.
Well, I suppose there's one thing that hasn't changed with time, is that you witless, useless, idiot brain of yours you absolutely don't.
힌들리,
Hindley.
제발 그만하게.
He
부탁이니.
assisted us at once. I implore you.
내 저택에서 그런 지저분한 말이나 듣고 싶지 않아.
I do not wish to see my manners sullied by such foul obscenities.
이 저택이 아니라 내 저택이다, 린튼. 내 저택!
It's not your home, Linton. It's mine. It's my man.
네가 같지 않은 농락으로 훔쳐간 내 저택. 우리 아버지가 내게 물려주신 고귀하고 명망 높은 이 워더링 하이츠를.
You're the one who sullied this noble Wuthering Heights, my birthright bestowed upon me by my father, by taking it from me by means of trickery.
이놈의 그 에드가라는 잘난 가문에서 내어주신 저택만으로는 모자랐던 거냐?
Was your own family manor too small for you, Linton Edgar? Your oh so noble Edgar family.
에드가 가문?
Edgar family?
소리 지르고 때를 써서 물건을 뺏어갈 나이는
It's time for whining, crying, and throwing a tantrum to get what you want is long past. Cost.
금방이라도 숨이 넘어갈 것 같은 새끼 주제에 어딨어?
Bold words for some milksop who's about to choke himself to death on air.
힌들리 씨, 물러나십시오.
Please maintain your distance, Master Hindley.
개만도 못한 충성심을 가진 놈들. 몇 년 전까지 너희들이 받들던 주인은 나였다. 기억은 나냐?
I've seen mongrels more loyal than you lot. I was your master only a few years ago. Have you cast aside your memories as well as you did your loyalty?
그만하세요, 힌들리님. 힌들리 언쇼 쪽에 남아있는 버틀러들은 이제 없다는 거 아시잖아요.
Cease this at once, Master Hindley. The butlers have all left Hindley Earnshaw behind, as you are well aware yourself.
자, 너희들도 이 자리에서 더 이상 소란을 일으키고 싶은 건 아니겠지?
And you two butlers, we do not want to make further trouble here.
알겠습니다, 넬리님.
Understood, Chief Butler Nellie. After a brief silence, Heathcliff finally brought up the question he'd been stewing for so long.
캐서린은 어디 있는 거야, 넬리?
Nellie, where's Catherine?
알잖아, 캐서린은 시끄러운 걸 못 견뎌 있어. 이렇게 많은 손님이 자기 집 한복판에서 소리라도 지른다면.
You must know, Nellie, that Catherine never did like these commotions. So many guests making so much noise in her home, she wouldn't be pleased.
그랬지.
I suppose she never did.
나 아까부터 캐서린의 기분에 상하게 하고 싶지 않아서 계속 목소리를 낮추고 있단 말이야. 슬슬 참기 어렵다고.
I've been keeping my volume in check because I didn't want to offend her. But it's been getting harder and harder to keep it down. There was a look of unfathomable, immeasurable grief on both Linton and Nellie. Hindley was absent-mindedly mumbling some foul language at the ceiling, and Heathcliff probably sensed from his inevitably dark and ominous silence that something was terribly wrong. It was setting in for us as well. And after all we'd been through in this journey, this kind of silence was all too familiar.
캐서린은 대체 왜 안 나오고 있는 건데? 표정은 왜들 다 그따위고?
Where's Catherine? What's with this dour look on everyone?
미안, 히스클리프. 나는...
I'm terribly sorry, Heathcliff.
미안하다는 말을 왜 하냐고?
Why are you sorry? What the hell are you sorry about?
히스클리프.
Heathcliff.
나는 이 분위기의 배경이 되는 사실을 유추할 수 있다.
I may have a correct assumption as to what the silence indicates. She's either very sick or dead.
그러므로 통상적인 표현으로서 너에게 지금 매우 유감이라는 말을 전할 수밖에 없다.
So I have no other choice to tell you, as it is common courtesy to do so, that I am very sorry to hear that.
아니,
What the fuck?
알아듣게 얘기해봐 좀.
Can't you talk to me normally for once?
이걸 너에게 어떻게 전해야 할지.
I hardly know how to tell you this, but
캐서린 아가씨는 여기 없어.
Miss Catherine isn't here anymore.
여기 없다는 게 어떤?
What do you mean she's not?
캐서린은 죽었다.
Yep. Catherine, she's dead. Yeehaw. Or, sorry, I guess Catherine yeed her last haw. But let's see what time is it. Perhaps I'll do one more. I have plenty of time tomorrow to continue. And my neighbors will probably get less pissed at me. So far, it's interesting though. It's not like I have 38 goddamn parts left. Crying noises. Let me take short mental break. I'll turn the sound back on by accident. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, let's see what happens next in this epic cowboy adventure. Linton looked up at Heathcliff. His eyes were bloodshot.
자네 말대로 얼굴 보는 것도 불쾌하기만 했던 우리가 이곳에 왜 다 모여 있다고 생각하는 건가?
As you said earlier, none of us are here to see each other's ugly mugs. What other reason could we possibly have to reconvene like this?
무슨 미친 소리를.
That can't be real. What kind of insane?
자,
Now, fixers of the Ufi Association, but remained silent throughout the entire promotion, suddenly spoke up.
약속한 시간이 다 되었습니다.
The promised hour is come.
고인, 개서리님의 혈연인 힌들리 언쇼 씨.
Mr. Hindley Earnshaw, a blood relative of the deceased.
고인 개서린의 남편이었던 린튼 에드가 씨.
Mr. Linton Edgar, the spouse of the deceased.
마지막으로 유언에서 언급되었던 히스클리프 씨.
And Mr. Heathcliff, an individual mentioned by name in the will.
이렇게 모두가 한 자리에 모였으니 집행을 시작할 조건이 충족되었습니다.
Now that the three relevant parties are all present, we, as the executioners of the deceased's will, may begin the ceremony.
이제 의뢰자 캐서리님의 유언 집행을 시작하도록 하겠습니다.
The first order of business will be the execution of Miss Catherine's will.
우리는 캐서린님의 엄숙한 장례식에서 고인의 바람대로 캐서린님이 소유한 저택에서 유언장을 낭독 후
Thus commences the solemn occasion of Miss Catherine's funeral. As per the deceased's wishes, this will shall be read out loud here at Miss Catherine's manor in attendance of all those present. Then,
잠깐만.
no,
너 나불거리지 말고 잠깐 멈춰봐.
you stop. Shut up for a second.
누구의 장례식이라고?
Whose funeral rites?
그리고
And
누가
what was that about her
누구의
spouse?
남편이라는 거야?
The man they called Linton rose from his seat for the first time since we arrived.
네가 말도 없이 이곳에서 사라진 뒤
After you abandoned his place with nary a word to her,
캐서린은 곧바로 내게 왔다.
Catherine immediately turned to me.
우리는 부부였어. 매일매일 행복하고 충만한 날들을 보냈지. 그녀가 숨을 거두는 마지막 날까지.
Then we married. Every waking hour we spent together were filled with happiness and joy. We were happy to the very last day, to our very last breath.
개소리하지 마.
Shut your stupid gob.
난 이 저택에 발걸음을 한
The moment I
순간부터
set foot in this man,
해설인이 날 부르는 소리를 들었어. 그녀가 이 저택에 있다는 거 느낄 수 있었단 말이야.
I
그런데
heard
무슨
a voice.
말도 안 되는 소리 하는
I
거야?
felt a presence. So what the bloody hell are you even talking about?
이 개자식들이 작정하고 꾸민 일이 분명해. 그렇지
This has to
않고서
be some
이렇게
ploy. These fucking bastards. They must have. This can't. Heathcliff paused for a moment, struggling to find the words. This can't be how it ends.
눈앞에 그녀의 시체라도 갖다
I
놔.
won't believe a
그래야
single
좀 믿음의
shot coming
신용이라도
out
할
of your mouth
테니까.
until I see her body with my own eyes. Where is she? Bring her here now.
못 봐주겠군. 장례식에서 고인에 대한 최소한의 예의를 갖추고 애도는 못할 망정.
For a repulsive sight, the least you could have done was show some proper respect for the dead. But I suppose even the bare minimum was too much to expect from someone like Todd.
히스클리프, 네 기분은 알겠으니까 진정하고 자리에.
I understand how you feel, Heathcliff. So please, calm yourself and take a seat.
놔! 누구 마음대로 죽었다는 거야? 개치를 보기 전까지는.
Get your hands off me. You can't just decide for me that she's dead. I won't accept any of this not until I see Kathy with my own.
경고합니다. 지속적인 유언 집행 방해가 이어질 시 무력을 사용해서라도 유언 집행을 진행할 수밖에 없습니다.
Should this interpretation of the will reading interruption of the will reading continue, we may have to resort to use the force to ensure the full execution of this will.
닥쳐! 아무것도 모르는 새끼가 멋대로 짓거리지 말라고!
Shut up. You don't know shite, so shut your fucking mouth. Heathcliff was gasping. The sheer momentousness of the emotion overwhelmed him. It looked as though he was about to lunge at anyone who dared to get close. I could hardly tell whether it was sorrow or wrath that came over him. Probably both.
히스클리프, 너야말로 거울을 좀 보지 그래. 꼴이 말이 아니군.
Heathcliff. Why don't you have a look in the mirror yourself? What a pathetic mess you've become.
역시 태생부터 글러먹은 새끼는 아무리 그럴듯한 옷을 주워 입어도 결국 티가 나긴 마련이거든.
It doesn't matter what posh garb plebs like you have yourselves in. That filth from your little bird seeps right through the fabric at the slightest provocation.
그리고 장례식 절차상 좋든 싫든 곧 캐서린의 시체를 볼 수 있을 테니 너무 재촉하지 말라고. 날 이런 꼴로 만들어 놓고 얼마나 편안하게 눈을 감고 있는지
You'll
나도
eventually see
직접 봐야
Catherine's corpse,
하겠으니까.
alright. It's all part of the funeral process, so don't be in such a hurry to get there. I can't wait to see how well she's resting after what she's done to me.
힌들리님, 히스클리프님, 두 분 다 지금 당장 자리에 앉아 주실 것을 명령합니다. 이것은
Mr.
최종
Henry
경고입니다.
Earnshaw, Mr. Heathcliff, we order that both of you immediately return to your seats. This is your final warning.
관리자 나리, 우리가 어쩌면 좋겠는가? 웨오피 협회 나리들은 계약 불이행에 관해선 필요에 따라 처형까지 할 수 있는 사람들이란 말이오.
Mr. Esquire, for once she says something useful. We must do anon. Fixtures of the Ufi Association may even execute those involved, should there be a breach of contract.
본인은 히스클리프 군이 처형당하는 것도 싫고 웨오피 협회 나리들이랑 싸우는 것도 싫소.
I wish to see Sir Heathcliff be executed, nor do I wish to have to battle the honorable fixtures of the Ufi Association. I agree with Don Quixote. A statement that has never been said before. There is no need for us to get involved in unnecessary conflict, but I don't think Heathcliff's gonna listen to us. I don't even know if there's anyone who can talk Heathcliff down from when he's agitated.
경고는 여기까지입니다.
You have refused to comply. We have no choice but to watch as fixtures of the Ufi Association struck Heathcliff with their weapons. He fell to his knees with a painful cry.
이상
Yes,
말씀하시오.
do speak.
그 이상 아니다.
Not you.
그럼에도
Speak
말씀하시오.
still, your intention's not the same.
이상하군. 너희 그대로 멈춰.
You stop. All of you. Something's off about this whole thing.
이자를 대신에 할 말이 있으십니까?
Would you like to speak for this individual?
라고 말할 뻔했지만 그냥 가만히 있는 게 좋을 거라고 마음을 바꿨습니다.
그렇지.
Was what she was going to say, but she decided to remain silent in favor of not getting in trouble. Ha 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 ha, right? No.
뭘 하는 거지, 벌량?
Oh, I know what that is. Huh? What are you doing, bug guy?
류슈, 같은 수감자가 눈앞에서 그렇게 얻어맞은 것에 대해서 충분히 분노할 만하다고 생각해. 하지만
Real shoot, I understand that seeing our fellow sinner get smacked down like that can be pretty aggravating, but
당신까지 나서버리면 걷잡을 수 없이 커져버릴
once you get
거라고.
involved, peace will simply no longer be an option. Didn't know that you cared that much about Heathcliff, Ryoshi.
말 더 안.
No comment. Ryoshi flicked her cigarette indifferently as though she was no longer interested. No comment. You bastards.
좋아, 한꺼번에 덤비든가.
Fine, let's crack some skulls then, shall we? Heathcliff stumbled to his feet with the club in his hand. Where did he fucking hide this thing? Glaring at everyone that stood before him.
최초 대응만으로 협조하지 않으시는 겁니까?
I see that you are still refusing to comply despite our initial attempt.
1분 내로 무기를 내려놓지 않을 경우 그 다음 절차를 이행하겠습니다.
Should you refuse to let go of your weapon within the next minute, we will have no choice but to escalate to our next steps.
설차고 나버리고 그녀를 보여주지 않으면
I couldn't care less about your steps. Give me Catherine, or...
너희도 나랑 같이 뒤지는 거야.
None of us are leaving this manor alive. You lot, me, we're all going 6 feet under. Heathcliff.
다물어, 시계 대가리! 지금 회사가 규칙이고 알 바냐? 빨리 생각하지 마.
Sorry, Clockhead. This ain't the time to bring up shite like company rules. Stay out of my way.
전 아무 말도 못하겠어요. 눈앞에서 소중한 사람이 죽었다는 걸 알게 되면
I don't have anything to say.
아무것도 안 보여요.
If someone that important
들리지도
to me
않고요.
died, I'd be blinded and deafened to all reason too.
있지, 히스. 지금 엄청 화나고 답답한 건 알겠어. 하지만 이대로 가면 우리는
Hey, E. I understand how angry and frustrated you must be, but you can't.
닥쳐! 다 입 다물고 건들지 마. 짓박살나고 싶은 게
What was
아니라면
it? What was it he said earlier this arc? Something about if I go off the rails, you have my permission to beat the shit out of me? Shut your trap, all of you. Don't you dare touch me unless you want your faces caved in too.
히스클리프, 한숨 자고 일어나자.
It's nap time, Heathcliff. Go. Whoa.
방금 맨손으로 히스클리프를 눕힌 거야?
She just knocked him out cold with her bare hands.
게다가 꿀밤 한 방으로?
It wasn't even a punch, it was just a light tap.
호흡은 정상적이다. 뒤통수에 위치한 맥에 정확한 충격을 줘서 의식을 잠시 잃게 한 것 같군.
His breathing is stable. It appears that she gave the nerve on the back of his head a precise focused strike, which led to his loss of consciousness.
전혀 군더더기 없는 동작이었어요. 익숙한 움직임이라고 해야겠죠? 마치 저희 집안에
What a flawless execution of that move. I can certainly say I've seen something like that before. It reminds me of my family's.
히스클리프 군이 한 번에 불속
The Worth effect. Sir Heathcliff has been defeated with a single fell strike punch.
이 정도의 기술은 가지고 있어야 진정한 버틀러라고 할 수 있죠. 아이가 안 잔다고 20시간 동안 고집 부리면 누군가는 재워야 하지 않겠어요?
I don't know about that, girl. Every self-respecting butler has to be equipped with one such move. What a choice we have when a child's processing process for 20 hours instead of going to sleep.
난 바로 눕자마자 꿈나라로 갈 수 있네. 정말로.
Forsooth, I can say with quite the confidence that I could immediately slumber to the dreamlands upon tucking myself in bed for truth.
자인은 아니더라도 무기를 놓았고 진정된 것을 확인하였으니
It's not by his own volition. We have confirmed that he is no longer in possession of a weapon and that he has been subdued.
잠시 진정 시간을 10분 정도 가진 뒤 이후 계속 진행하겠습니다.
We will allow for a 10-minute recess to let things calm down for a moment. Then we will proceed as planned.
저 넬리님?
Excuse me, Lady Nelly.
넬리님이라니 편하게 넬리라고 불러주세요.
No need, Lady Nelly. No need to such honorifics. You're gonna die. Please just call me Nelly.
린튼이라는 분이 데려오신 저 고용인 분들은 한때 이 저택에서 일하셨던 분들인 거죠?
The contractors that Mr. Linton Egger bought, they once worked at this mansion, right?
맞아요. 캐서린 아가씨를 따라서 저랑 같이 따라온 언쇼가 버틀러들이 몇몇 있죠. 물론 린튼님이 부리는 버틀러들은 원래 있던 에드가 가문 버틀러들이 대다수긴 하지만요.
Yes, indeed. Some butlers from the Earnshaws like myself followed Miss Catherine to Master Linton's. Of course, most of Master Linton's butlers are from his own Edgar family.
그럼 린튼 씨가 명령만 내린다면 넬리님도
So if he gives order to attack us, Lady Nelly would.
그게 무슨 말도 안 되는.
Oh, this plush ridiculous.
저는 캐서린님의 직속 버틀러였어요.
I was a butler in direct service to Miss Catherine.
린튼 도련님이 아무리 제 바지가랑이를 붙잡고 애걸복걸해도 제가 린튼 도련님의 편만 들
Young
수는
Master
없다는
Linton
거죠.
can plead and beg all he wants, but I won't always be taking his side.
저희 근데
So,
버틀러가 정확히 어떤
what
집단이야?
exactly are the butlers?
버틀러? 말하자면 말이요. 그들은
Butlers, forsooth, I am quite well acquainted with this matter. They are
집 구석에나 처박혀 주인에게 목줄
dogs
잡힌
on a
개.
tight leash, groveling before their master.
누구보다 믿음직스럽고 충직한
The most
분들이랄까요?
trustworthy and loyal people I've ever known, I'd say.
가문의 해결사들이요.
That's bound to family.
정말 잘 알아들었어. 다들
That's got
훌륭한 정리
some great help
고맙다.
you fellas are. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one out of the loop for once.
그래도 버틀러에 대해 곧바로 아시는 분도 있네요. 조금은 생소한 개념이라 버틀러 조직 자체를 모르는 분들도 많거든요.
At least some of you know who butlers are. It is a rather rare occupation, so not many people know that we even exist.
돈 좀 있는 집에서 났을 테니
Doesn't sound like
보통은 알기
no
힘들겠지.
folk have a reason to know anything about it.
아니면 돈 좀 있는 집에 고용되어야만 하는 입장이거나.
Unless they're in a position where they have no choice but to work at the rich folks' homes.
뭐 우리 중에 해결사를 좀 많이 좋아하는 자가 있어서.
Well, one of us is quite a passionate fan of fixers.
그렇군요. 우리 히스클리프가 참 총명한 친구들을 두었네요.
Why? Oh, I'm very pleased to know that our dear Heathcliff made some very intelligent friends.
넬리군,
Lady Nelly.
내 버스로 다시 돌아간다면 꼭 구하려다 포기해버렸었던 버틀러 피규어를 구해 책장 제일 앞에 세워두리다.
What the fuck? I promise thee, once I make my return to the bus, I shall have my hands on the butler figurine I had given up on acquiring. I shall stand tall and proud on the frontmost row of my display shelf. Of course, Don Quixote has a display shelf probably in her room back in the back doors. Don Quixote's eyes were practically exploding with joy at having a fixer obsession positively acknowledged and accepted for once.
버틀러들은 말이요, 일반 해결사들과는 조금 다른 해결사들이요.
The question is, allow me to explain. Butlers are fixers indeed, yet they are rather distinct from most fixers thou hast encountered thus far.
보통 해결사라 함은 협회나 사무소에 소속되어 그때마다 다른 의뢰를 받고 있다만 이들은 다르지.
Sir oft refers to those who accept contracts as part of an association or an office. Alas, there exists a distinction when it comes to butlers.
바로 가문이나 저택에 소속이 되어 일관되고 장기적인 해결사
Butlers
활동을
join
한다는 점.
families or
물론 다른
mansions to serve,
해결사들처럼 한 사람만을 위해
and only then
고용되기도
on
한다오.
long-term contracts. Forsooth, like any other fixers, butlers may be hired by a single person to serve them, and only them as well.
가사와 전투, 돌봄까지 다양한 분야를 도맡는 점도요.
Do note that our service is not limited to combat, and we also conduct household management and care as well.
갖가지 소양을 필요로 하는 아주 힘들고 드문 해결사 직종이랍니다.
It must be mentioned that proficiency in many fields is a necessity to be a well-respected butler. This is not an easy occupation, mind you.
그런데 버틀러를 고용하는 건 대단히 어마어마하게 비싸다는 걸로 알고 있네만.
Yet, from what I have learned, to hire a butler is to pay an inordinate amount of salary.
맞아요. 고생은 많이 하지만 고용기간 갱신 때마다 어마어마한 보수와 함께 연금과 같은 안정적인 보수까지 보장받으니까요.
Indeed, while butlers are also busy, we are promised expensive compensation at every contract extension with stable bonuses such as pensions.
명망 높은 해결사분 중엔 협회에서 은퇴를 하고 버틀러로 전향하시는 분들도 종종 있죠.
Many famous association fixers also retired to serve as butlers as well.
저는 캐서린 아가씨 가문의 버틀러였고
I was once a
린튼
butler in
도련님과
service in Miss
결혼하시면서
Catherine's
에드가
family.
가문의
I
버틀러들과
was
섞이게
transferred to
되었지만
Master Lytton Edward's family to join the ranks when she married him.
아주 평화로운 협의를 통해 제가 버틀러들의 대장격인 치프 버틀러가 되었답니다.
Still, after a rather peaceful mutual debate, we came to the conclusion that I would be assuming the position of chief butler, leader of the butlers in that household.
그렇구만.
Gotcha.
말만
Totally
들어도 정말
peaceful.
평화로워 보여.
I'm sure it was one peaceful transfer of power.
그러고 보니 이 히스클리프 군도 조그마할 때가 있었다니 상상이 가지 않는군. 어렸을 때는 어떤 아이였는가?
It's quite fascinating to imagine that even Sir Heathcliff once had been a tiny bear. How was he as a youth?
제가 치프 버틀러까지 될 수 있었던데 큰 이유를 차지하던 금쪽 같은 아이였달까요?
He was quite a special child. I do not believe I would have become a chief butler had it not been for him, Jesus.
참 사랑스러운 아이였어요.
What a lovely boy he was.
사랑스러운.
Lovely.
그렇구려.
Right. Heathcliff. It is getting quite late where I live, so for now I shall be ending part 1 of my Canto 6 streams here, not to be confused with the part 1 up here, which is still not complete. and will almost certainly be completed tomorrow. Give rules, get out, oh, bye-bye. Oh, right, no, make it stage proper. Here, that I can give you a proper cowboy out. Well, seeing as I'm done for today, and with my accent that changes every 10 seconds, I'll sign our stream here. Well, until next time, which is tomorrow, by the way. Live long and prosper. Bye.